brought to you by Primo Brands, the official water sponsor of MLB. Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission. A lousy weekend for both of the baseball teams, one worse than the other. Yankees were swept away by the Marlins, losing 7-3 on Sunday. Yankees find themselves in Texas tonight, and manager Aaron Boone knows his team needs to get in gear and now.
It's getting to be real gut check time. It's getting late, and it's certainly not too late for us. And I am confident that we're gonna get it together. But that's all it is right now. It's empty until we start doing it.
Yankees now in third place in the division. They trail both Toronto and Boston. The Red Sox winners of 5 in a row. Yankees and Rangers tonight. Max Fried to start on the Fan at 8:05. As for the Mets, they lost 2 out of 3 to the Giants, falling 12-4 on Sunday. They welcome in the Guardians tonight. Sean Manaea makes the start on Mets Odyssey Radio at 7:10 p.m. The Phillies shut out the Tigers last night 2-0. So the Mets a half game behind Philadelphia in the NL East. This report brought to you by Ray Katina. Experience the power of 3. Visit benzfam.com. And by Cars for Kids. The Fan congratulates Cars for Kids on 30 years of turning car donations into supporting children. Cars for Kids has helped more than 100,000 kids nationwide. Donate your used car today at carsforkids.org and join over 1 million proud donors making a real difference. It's 76 in Central Park, and that's what's happening. I'm Jerry Recco on WFAN, now streaming on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
It's Brandon Tierney and Sal Licata on WFAN, The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always live on the free Odyssey app.
The Yankees have some problems, but it's not about the standings right now. It's not about getting swept by the Marlins. Obviously, those things aren't good when you look at the American League East standings, when you look at the wild card standings, the fact that the Red Sox have now leapfrogged the Yankees. I can see that those are issues. And you could look at the way the Yankees got themselves beaten to a pulp, I should say, by the Marlins over the course of the weekend, and that is frustrating. But we've seen this type of stuff before, only to have the Yankees at some point respond and look like world beaters again and get into the postseason and potentially go on a little bit of a run. So today, for me, is not about coming on and reacting to the results of a lost weekend. It's not even about Friday night and the awful loss and the new arms in the bullpen. Like, those guys will be better. Aaron Judge will come back. At least we're expected to see him come back this Tuesday in Texas. Max Fried is on the mound tonight. So tell me that you couldn't see a scenario where Fried goes out there and deals, and then tomorrow Judge returns and the Yankees go win some games, and all of a sudden that feel starts to come back. The issue is the New York Yankees have a culture problem, and that has been going on for years. Now, define culture. For me, it would be lack of accountability, lack of acknowledging the reality. Now, their punchback, and we've talked about this before, I'm tired of yelling and screaming about it, but it continues to be the same issue. The Yankees can punch back and say, we were in the World Series as recently as last year, so what do you mean we have a culture issue? We don't hold guys accountable. We just win 90-plus games every year. We went to the World Series, blah, 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 blah. But we know better because we watch this team day in, day out, night in, night out, and we have watched them for years. And the comparisons that Boone or Cashman will make, or others sometimes will make, is to the rest of the league. Well, the American League isn't very good, or look at our numbers in comparison to everybody else. Where we watch the Yankees and we compare them to the great teams in Yankees past. And that's what you should be doing. That's the standard here in New York. It's not about what the Twins are doing, or the Guardians, or the Astros, or the Tigers, or the Blue Jays. It's about the Yankees. And the Yankees have far too many excuses. They don't acknowledge the reality, and it's gone on far too long. It's why I would have made a change in regime in 2021. So how could you, if I'm going to say that I would have fired Cashman and then Boone as collateral damage, because this is not on Aaron Boone. I understand why everybody's going to call up today and be like, Boone's got to go. He shouldn't have left Miami. I understand that. This is not an Aaron Boone problem. Meaning if Aaron Boone got fired today, the Yankees are still going to have the issues that they have. This is a Yankee culture problem that dates back, as a matter of fact, to when Brian Cashman of the front office decided to move on from Joe Girardi. More of a disciplinarian, more of an old school guy. By design, they wanted a manager who was going to come in here and coddle the players and be gentler on the players. and try to have a more positive environment. Not to mention that they go by the book every single day. Like, everything's all mapped out. And they stick with it. They continue to believe that the numbers, that the pre-planning, the predetermined stuff, that's all eventually going to win out. They think it's a math equation, a baseball game. That's one part of it. But they also think that you need to be a lot nicer and softer to the players in today's day and age. And what I would like to ask them is, where is the proof in this organization? Forget the other organization. I'm talking about the Yankees. Where is the proof that it's working? Have they developed younger talent? Remember, one of the big issues why they wanted to move on from Joe Girardi years ago, after getting to Game 7 of the ALCS, that was another one of those predetermined things that the Yankees had. Joe Girardi was getting fired. Front office, data analytics, whatever. It was predetermined before that postseason. Then they go on a run in 2017, get to Game 7 in the ALCS against the cheating Astros and lose, and they still stuck with that decision. Much like, Volpe's going to be off tomorrow. Yeah, but he just had 3 hits tonight. Yeah, I know, but it was scheduled day off. Okay, doesn't seem to make sense, but that's what they did. And they did it in part, let's use Gary Sanchez as an example, because they wanted somebody who was going to be softer on Sanchez to get the most out of their young El Kraken star. They wanted Gary Sanchez to really blossom, and they felt maybe Joe Girardi, on Sanchez in particular, catcher to catcher, a little too hard on Gary Sanchez. So let's go hire a manager who's going to come in. And remember, that was the age of loving players. Mickey Callaway, the Mets hired him. Boone comes in the same year. Then it was the age of we're going to love the players and coddle the players more than ever. Okay, and I'm not saying you can't do that. What I'm saying is there needs to be a balance. And what you saw from the Yankees in this series alone, forget about what's gone on before in Boston where we called them out for the Dominguez stuff, whatever, multiple guys on the bases, happens all the time. What went on this weekend in particular should never happen. And I heard Moose on, was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday morning Moose was on. I thought he did a fantastic job breaking it down, playing the sound from Aaron Boone, and going over all the stuff that happened, where Boone was basically justifying some of the excuses, or making excuses, justifying some of the mistakes the Yankees made on the base paths by saying, well, everybody else, look at the numbers. I'm pretty sure in the sport we're just as bad on the bases as everybody else, like league average, whatever it was. But what I would counter that and say, Aaron, show me the team or show me the time that a player walked off of second base thinking the inning was over. In particular, after all the other blunders that the Yankees have had just this year alone. Forget about last year or even before that. Where's the team that had a player walk off of second base thinking the inning was over? I don't recall ever seeing that in my life. 45 years old watching baseball. I'm sure it's happened at times, but usually if you see a guy get caught with not knowing how many outs, he either runs back to the base. That was a prolonged, like, what the hell's going on here? I'll take a step further, because it wasn't just Austin Wells. How does Jazz Chisholm, A, do what he did, and then B, defend it, and then C, have Aaron Boone say that, like, chalk that up? Like, that's not the same as getting thrown out at home. Which, by the way, I'll give him a pass on that. It was stupid, sure. Stupid based off of the fact that, Stanton hit a rocket. So why would you be aggressive sending the runner home in that spot? But at least that happens. You're going to fault aggression. You're going to fault pressing, trying to score a run, whatever. Things happen. A guy could botch the ball, make a bad throw, whatever it may be. Only because of how hard it was hit, Rojas should have known better. But fair enough. I'll give him a pass on that. That, however, is not the same as Jazz Chisholm getting doubled off of first base on a pop-up to the second baseman. And then the excuse after was that he was trying to make a play. There was no play to be made. So those are two indefensible, inexcusable things that the Yankees did. The Wells one walking off a second with not knowing how many outs, and then Jazz getting picked off for, which I don't think I've ever seen that one. Forget about guys walking off the base. We've seen guys before forget how many outs there are. I've maybe seen a few guys get picked off for first like that or doubled off for first with a liner hit right at the second baseman. A liner. That's a big difference than a pop-up on the infield. A pop-up to second base, you got a guy getting doubled off for first. Like that just, guy's an all-star. That just can't happen. Now, why does it happen? Some will say, well, because Boone lets guys get away with it. Here's the issue. The culture issue that the Yankees have had is that this has been allowed for years. Torres, Sanchez, Dominguez, Volpe, Wells, Jazz, whatever. Pick a player. This behavior, this type of horrible, stupid baseball has been allowed for years. Why? Because the Yankees wanted a different culture. They wanted a more positive atmosphere. They wanted to be coddling the players, pat the players on the back. It's okay, son. We'll get them tomorrow. That type of behavior allows this type of performance. And now it's too late. Now it's too late. This type of stuff needs to be nipped in the bud. This type of stuff needs to be nipped in the bud years ago. There's nothing like you're going to bench Jazz? Okay, what's that going to do? You think the Yankee players feel any pressure to perform for the opportunity to be given, out there, whether it's Volpe, whether it's Wild, whatever. You think they feel that pressure? Why would they when Boone and Cashman themselves really don't have any pressure? Like, yeah, obviously every job's got some type of pressure, but I'm talking about fighting for survival. If Brian Cashman and the Yankees don't win the World Series, they're fine. If Brian Cashman and the Yankees miss the postseason like they did in 2022, they're fine. I'm not talking about moving forward, although dispute me otherwise. Like everybody's saying, oh, Boone's going to get fired. Boone's going to get fired. Cashman wants Boone. This is exactly by design. They want a manager like this. Boone's not doing anything wrong. He's doing what they tell him to do. So Boone can't be the scapegoat. It's got to be all or nothing. And it's been nothing. But if the general manager and the manager don't feel the accountability from above, then how are the players going to feel that? What's going to happen if Volpe hits 200 and boots every ball that's hit to him or throws every ball in the dirt? What's going to happen? Nothing. It's year 3. It's year 3. And it's okay. You can hit 220. As a matter of fact, Brian Cashman is as defiant in his defense as I've ever seen before for a player who hit 220, whatever it was his first year. And now it's year 3, and it's gotten worse. And has he been sent down? No. Has he been benched? No. Have they even gotten another shortstop? Caballero can't field the ball in right field. He's supposed to be a good shortstop? The answer's no. What about Dominguez? Well, he's learning to play in left field. Okay, so same thing. He'll come up. He'll take the learning curves. Like, this is the culture that they built. Jazz, same thing. Oh, it's all right. You know what? And then Boone could start now to yell at these guys. And whether it's the base coach, whether it's Jazz, you could start to get on them now, but this has been allowed for years. So to me, that's not really either who he is or who he was brought in to be. So it's not going to work. Getting on guys now, benching guys now. We saw it with Glaber. He was Exhibit A for years. Didn't work. By the way, how did Gary Sanchez develop after they made the change from Girardi to Boone? And this is not me picking on Boone. You know I love Aaron Boone, and I do not believe this is his fault. I believe it is an organizational thing. He may be made the scapegoat if they miss the postseason at the end of the year. They won't. They'll be fine. Like I'm saying, there are different layers to the conversation with the Yankees. A lot of people are going to overreact to the results of getting swept by the Marlins. Not me, because I fully expect the Yankees to bounce back tonight with Fried. Judge comes back. At some point, the Yankee bats will mash, and they'll look like they did coming out of the break against the Mariners. Just when everybody had them buried, they wake up. They still, at their best, have an ace pitcher, a legit ace pitcher in Max Fried, and a lineup that is filled with threats. A lineup that strikes fear in the opposition. It may not be consistent. It may be all or nothing, meaning mash and bully you, but then strike out far too often, whatever it may be. But they still have the potential to destroy their opponent with the big bats that they have. That's what they are. An ace pitcher and a team that on any given night could mash you. Generally, we don't see that enough in the postseason, but those are the issues that they have. That, to me, is still good enough to get through a weak American League and go win a division still. I mean, we can talk about the Red Sox leapfrogging them. They're, 4.5 back of the division lead, and their schedule softens up, all that. I'm not worried about the results as far as the Yankees getting into the postseason or still being a threat to go win the World Series. But that, to me, is not good enough. I'm more worried about how the hell is it that the Yankees accept this type of play? They accept it. The owners accept it because Cashman is still here all these years. Boone accepts it because he never holds these guys accountable. And clearly the players just continue to do it. Won't happen again. Oh, don't worry, won't happen again. This stuff needed to be taken care of years ago. The way Mendy set the tone with the Mets last year. Now, again, he's not perfect either, but Carlos Mendoza held guys accountable in year one as a rookie manager. Matter of fact, he was doing that with the Yankees when he was their bench coach. There's got to be some tough love. You can coddle players and be nice to players. Got to have some tough love. It's like raising a kid. If I tell my daughter, Sammy, stop drinking the water in the pool. Stop drinking the water. And she does it, and I don't do anything when I see her do it again, what do you think she's going to do next time? What, because my voice gets louder, she's going to stop? Unless there are repercussions, get out of the pool. Get out of the pool. I told you not to drink the water. Until you hold them accountable, they're not going to learn. You're just going to go somewhere with your kids and let them run wild and then think all of a sudden the next time you're like, hey, you got to behave this time. Then they're going to run wild. You got to nip it in the bud early. And Aaron Boone and the Yankees culture was designed and built to let this type of play take place. Letting young players learn at the big league level. Letting them grow without being too hard on them. And somehow you get to a point where you got guys walking off the bases without knowing how many outs there are. Somehow you got a guy getting doubled off of first base on a pop-up to second. I can't even compute mentally how that happens to a ball player. I can't even process it. How does that even happen? Okay, forgetting how many outs, your head's not in the game, but walking off the base like that, not having a care in the world? I'm not saying you got to strike the fear of God in these guys, but you got to let them know, hey, this can't happen. It can't happen. And saying it can't happen is different than showing that it can't happen. Meaning, you get doubled off of first like that, you're not playing for a week. Repercussions. It's the same thing with gambling in the sport, right? Obviously, two totally different things, but if you slap them on the wrist and say, hey, you can't gamble, and you give them a $500 fine or a $5,000 fine, what do you think is going to happen the next time? They're not going to do anything. You sit them for a day, it's not going to do anything. It's got to be built in. I'm not saying rule with fear the way that Parcells used to or the Buck Showalter way, whatever you want to say from the old school guys. There's got to be a balance. But this is not on one singular person. They hired Aaron Boone and got rid of a former disciplinarian in Girardi by design. This is a culture issue with the Yankees. Maybe it's even at the lower levels because clearly they haven't developed anybody from the minor leagues to the big league level. Certainly not to the expectation that they were supposed to be. And then it just becomes accepted. Well, Volpe was supposed to be a star, and now he's won a Gold Glove, couple of Gold Gloves, whatever, and he's 200 in. It's like, yeah, he'll be fine. No, it's okay. Maybe he's not going to be the star, but still, he's not a total bust. He's not a scrub. What? That's not accountability. Austin Wells, same thing. Jason Dominguez, same thing. Jazz Chisholm, same thing. You pick a guy. Where's the accountability? Where have the Yankees shown that in recent years? That's the issue. Not the sweep to the Marlins, not their standings right now in the American League. The issue is much bigger and much deeper than that because they've been able to overcome the standings. They've been able to overcome a lot of their deep-rooted flaws based on Judge's incredible prowess and greatness, based on the talent that they have. They've had a pretty sustained run. But even with their results the last several years, obviously missed the postseason, 2022, World Series last year. Even with that, if you watch them individually in the seasons, it's gotten worse and worse and worse for the Yankees. Or missed it in 2022. Missed it in 2023, World Series then last year. 2022 was the year they started out great and then fell off. Even last year, started out great and then fell off. This year, started out great and then fell off. This is not a bad week or a bad month. This has been going on since mid-June. And it was supposed to be different, right? Plan B. We're going to catch it better. We're going to throw it better. We're going to run the bases better. It's gotten worse. It's gotten worse. Yankees have a culture issue. BT and Sal on the Fan. BT on vacation. 888-808-1019. 1019. Our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. Your calls when we come back.
Baseball heartbreak, football glory. WFAN covers every win, loss, and headline from the Yankees, Mets, Jets, and Giants. The Fan, 1019 FM, and always streaming on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn apps.
FanDuel, because nothing says summer fun like adding excitement to the game while your friends are getting sunburned at the beach. Summer sports are calling your name. Baseball under the stadium lights, golf on pristine green fairways, soccer matches with world-class goals, and all the action-packed moments in between. You were going to spend all day following your favorite sports team on your phone anyway, so you might as well make it more thrilling with FanDuel. Open the app today to see the daily promotions. New to FanDuel, new customers can bet just $5 to get $150 in bonus bets if your first bet wins. Open the FanDuel app today or visit FanDuel.com/Gio. That's G-I-O to get started. We just love the app around here. It's safe and secure, and when you win, you get paid instantly. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official partner of WFAN. 21 and over and physically present in New York. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued is non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with the gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. Luxury just got tripled with Mercedes-Benz of Edison, Union, and Freehold, New Jersey. 3 powerhouse locations, 1 legendary name. Ray Katina. More selection, more convenience, and more ways to drive excellence. Experience the power of 3. Visit benzfam.com.
Downy Rinse and Refresh. Break up with stinky clothes.
Rinse it out.
Every now and then I get a little bit tired of the stinks that just will never come out.
Pour Downy in the rinse change.
Every now and then I rinse it out. One wash and it delivers. One wash it smells so clean. Downy Rinse and Refresh, it's a dream.
Downy Rinse and Refresh. Fights odor in just one wash. Guaranteed.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Some things are hard to commit to, like learning how to surf or saving for a family vacation. But one commitment that's easy, switching to Fios Home Internet with a 5-year price lock guarantee. That means 5 great summers of fast, reliable internet at the same low price. All with the Fios 1 gig internet plan. Plus no hidden fees or equipment charges. Call 1-833-VERIZON to switch today. Price guarantee applies to base monthly rate only for new and existing My Home customers.
Talk New York sports on The Fan.
Ain't nothing gonna break my stride. Nobody gonna slow me down.
Don't let pneumococcal pneumonia break your stride. If you're 50 or older, you're at increased risk. So be proactive with Capvaxive pneumococcal 21-valent conjugate vaccine to help protect against invasive pneumococcal disease and pneumonia caused by certain types of pneumococcal bacteria. Capvaxive helps protect against the strains of bacteria that cause about 30% more IPD cases than any other pneumococcal conjugate vaccine in adults over 50, according to national-level CDC stats. Regional variations may exist. Don't get Capvaxive if you're allergic to the vaccine or its ingredients. Tell your doctor if you have a weakened immune system. Common side effects include injection site reactions, feeling tired, headache, muscle aches, and fever. Capvaxive does not protect against all strains. For more information, call 1-800-927-8888 or visit capvaxive.com. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Capvaxive. Need help paying for your Merck vaccine? Visit merckhelps.com. Sponsored by Merck.
It's the Road Ahead, brought to you by our local Kia dealers. Visit kia.com to discover movement that inspires. The team from the Bronx continues its road trip against Texas before returning home to face arch rival Houston, followed by a 3-game set against Minnesota.
Ready to score the biggest deal in breakfast? It's waiting for you at Dunkin'. Dunkin' is serving up the ultimate $5 meal deal. Get 1 premium hot or iced coffee and any 2 delicious wake-up wrap sandwiches for just $5. Whether you're fueling up for a big day or keeping it casual, this deal has you covered. A smooth, bold Dunkin' coffee paired with 2 warm, tasty wake-up wraps? Now that's what we call a big deal. Excludes espresso and cold brew beverages. Modifications may be an additional charge. Participation may vary. Limited time offer cannot be combined with offers. Exclusion and terms apply.
Recovering from an addiction is an individual accomplishment. A young mother who chose recovery to care for her family. A high school athlete overcoming opioid addiction. A couple celebrating his recovery. Everyone's recovery is different, and there's no shame in asking for help. Call 844-REACH-NJ. Trained counselors are available 24/7 to help you find the recovery option that's best for you. Tell us your story, and let's begin your recovery today.
Looking for a replacement window? Find the Anderson 400 Series double hung window at Riverhead Building Supply.
The 400 Series has a timeless style with modern design options to fit the look of your home.
Anderson brand products are the easiest to install, and Riverhead Building Supply makes it even easier.
We'll install your windows for you. Schedule measuring and replacement today.
Visit a Riverhead Building Supply location, call, or visit rbscorp.com.
Catch all the play-by-play with Susan Waldman and Dave Sims. The home of Yankees radio. The Fan on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
Into pieces, this is my last resort.
BT's out back on the Fan. BT on vacation, so obviously we're starting with the Yankees. We'll get into the Mets. We'll have some football stuff throughout the course of the week. But to me, it's not about going nuts. Losing to the Marlins, obviously frustrating. Friday night was just as bad as it gets. The new guys in the bullpen will be better. How much better, who knows? But the guys in the bullpen will be better. Judge will come back. Fried hopefully shuts down the Rangers tonight. The issue is much deeper than just the results of the weekend or where the Yankees are in the standings this year. It'll probably play out the same way that it always does. Yankees will get to the postseason, and they'll fall short, whether it be in the American League playoffs, whether it be in the World Series. They're not good enough to win a World Series. Right now, they're borderline good enough to make the playoffs. I think they'll still get there, but I think the issue is much, much, much deeper. The lack of accountability, the lack of acknowledging. I mean, think about it. If you have a manager or a parent telling you how great you are and how good you are, even though the results are showing differently. Like Aaron Boone not too long ago said, when the Yankees were in a funk, I still think we're the best team in baseball, and I still think this and that. Well, then, as a player, you're probably thinking to yourself, hey, you know what? Skip's right. We are good. We are the best. How many times have we heard Jazz Chisholm in particular, who got doubled off at first on a pop-up at second base, how many times have we heard Jazz say in particular how great the Yankees are dating back to last year when he first got here? I get it, he's coming from the Marlins. Oh, by the way, a team that just took it to them, the Yankees this weekend. But still, I get it, you coming from a losing organization like that, you go to the Yankees, you make the World Series. I understand that. But when a manager is saying how great you are, as opposed to acknowledging the reality of, dude, this is unacceptable. What are you doing? Put yourself in that spot. If you were doing whatever it is in your, whether it's your job or just being a child to your parents or being a parent, whatever, put yourself in that spot. How do you think you would respond? You know, if I were getting in trouble as a kid and my father allowed it, don't you think I'd get in more trouble? He's like, it's all right. Sal's a good kid. He means well. I get kicked out of school or get into a fight, whatever it may be. It's all right. He's a good kid. I mean, then it keeps happening. Instead, it was, you do something stupid, there are going to be repercussions. I wasn't going to test it, what those repercussions were. I wasn't going to do anything stupid. And with the Yankees, it's, you're the best, don't worry about it, we're the best, everything's great, everything's good. And then they continue to go out there and make these mistakes. Yeah, the numbers may show that other teams make bad decisions on the base paths too. Do the other teams do what the Yankees did? Like pound for pound? And by the way, it's not about that. It's not about what other people do. It's about what you do. But if you are going to reference those numbers, I would counter and say, Aaron, how many of that data and analytics that you have there that shows that you're just as bad as everybody else or everybody else gets caught on the base paths too? How many of those instances had a guy get doubled off of first base on a pop-up to second base? How many had a player walk off second base in a tight game late, walk off second base, thinking there were 2 outs, thinking there were 3 outs when there were only 2? Not all outs on the base paths are created equally. And this is not just a first-time thing, a one-off with the Yankees. Been going on for years. Larry's in Medford starting us off. What's up, Larry?
Hey, Sal, what's going on?
How are you?
All right. Usually I do disagree with you, but today you're right. I don't understand this team. I do put part of the blame on Boone because if he's a baseball man, wouldn't you think once in a while he'd be like, you know what, screw the analytics. You know, I got to go with my gut. they run the team like they did at Oakland A's from Billy Beanball. Analytics is the only way it goes. I don't understand it.
But that's by design. That's what they want. And when I say this is not Boone's fault, obviously he's the manager and he's a part of it. I mean that if, let's just say, hypothetically, Larry, the Yankees miss the postseason and the Yankees fire Aaron Boone, do you really think that this is going to change next year? The answer is no, it's not. Boone is not. He's not the singular problem. He's a part of the problem. They hired him to do certain things. He's doing those things. It's not working, but they'll say it was working, went to the World Series. But it's not going to be any better or any different if Aaron Boone weren't here and everything else stays the same.
Well, you would hope maybe they would hire maybe an older school manager that would,
They wouldn't.
Be like, I can go. You have to use your gut feeling once in a blue moon. You can't just. I don't get it.
But it's not. It's not just that, Larry. And thank you for the call. It's not just the in-game decision making or the sticking to the book, the plans, all that stuff. Girardi used data as well. To me, it's more about, and that, by the way, a lot of teams use the data. Now, you like to have ideally a good balance of it. It doesn't seem like the Yankees do. It's almost like they chalk it up to the math equation that they feel is going to work. And when it doesn't, it's like, well, the numbers said we were supposed to win tonight. We didn't. It happens. I'm more worried about the infrastructure. The Yankees got embarrassed in the World Series last year. Embarrassed. The Judge mistake in center field is a mistake where you say, hey, that doesn't happen all the time. That's a once-in-a-lifetime thing. Unfortunately, it happened to him on the biggest stage. But that's not something that you can look at the Yankees and be like, see, they're sloppy. That's just a guy making a physical error in a brutal spot. But the other stuff that happened, guys not getting the balls, cutting them off the right way, guys not throwing to the right base, the Dodgers running all over the bases on them, the stuff that we've seen this year with the Blue Jays making the Yankees look bad, the stuff that the Yankees with the self-inflicted wounds, those are things that need to be corrected. And it's gotten far worse since they made the decision to go away from a guy like Joe Girardi and go to a guy like Aaron Boone. It's not Boone's fault. This is an organizational design. This is their plan. Coddle, love, be gentle and kind with the players. I understand that. Nobody needs to be ripped apart and broken down and had their confidence shot. But there's got to be some level of accountability. If your big league shortstop is not living up to the expectations at all, what's the harm in sending him down? What, he's too soft for that? Oh, no, we've got no better options. Well, then you failed as an organization, which I believe is the real issue. The structure of this team and the design of what they want, whether it be from the players or from the manager, it's just not working. Mark is calling from Danville, New Jersey. What's up, Mark?
Yeah, good morning, Sal. I couldn't agree more with you about culture. And you just mentioned about infrastructure. Recently, Boone said something in a postgame that really bothered me. He said, they kept us in the park tonight. Since 2017, Cashman has been in love with the home run. They lead the league in home runs again. 31% of all their runs are scored by the home run. And that's why, to your point, 90 wins every year. We make the playoffs every year. Yeah, really, because it's like a softball game after work. You hit the ball out every day, you're going to make the playoffs. But you're not a well-rounded baseball team with real athletes on it.
Yeah,
I think that's a major problem with the Yankees.
You know, and you made me think about something else, Mark, and thank you for the call that I've been harping on for years. Not only did I disagree with the firing of Girardi, I mean, the guy got you to Game 7 of the ALCS. And, you know, Brian Cashman for years defended that as saying, hey, sometimes it's just time to make a change. And then I countered in 2021 saying, yeah, sometimes it's just time to make a change. Meaning with Brian Cashman himself, like, I get the greatness of Brian Cashman. I love the honesty, the transparency, his resume, all that stuff. The sustained success is something that any team in any sport would kill for. Understood. But it did get to a point where you could see in 2021 that it just wasn't working, and it started to regress. And two moves to me that I disagreed with in real time after the Yankees came out of nowhere after the selling decision in 2016. They were supposed to be the young team in 2017 with no expectations. They get to Game 7 of the ALCS. Then that offseason, they fired their manager, and they went and traded for Giancarlo Stanton. Now, did those two moves set the franchise back? No, but it showed a thought process that, to me, was not the right one. You didn't need Stanton. I don't care how many home runs he hit with the Marlins. That wasn't a need. They needed some lefty bats at the time. You want more well-rounded ball players to put around the power in Aaron Judge. Or you could have gotten a superstar that could be more versatile, whether it's lefty, whether it's actually playing a position, or maybe a third baseman in Machado. Like, there were many ways that they could go. They decided Giancarlo Stanton. They chose wrong. But they also went away from a guy in Joe Girardi, who at the time was a proven manager. Now, Girardi failing in Philadelphia afterwards, that plays in favor of the Yankees deciding to move on. So you can't kick and scream about it, but you can't argue that the lack of discipline or accountability in the Yankee organization, I mean, it just has not been there since Girardi left. It's not there, and that is by design. Kevin is calling from Mamaroneck. What's up, Kevin?
Hey, Sal. First of all, I'm so plugged into the Yankees. Been a fan for 50 years. The speech you just gave and the analysis was about as well articulated and spot on as I've heard all the commentary. So thank you for that. It really is a culture issue, and here's my fear, right? As a longtime Yankee fan, like I really think it starts with Hal Steinbrenner at the top. It's kind of like his personality. I mean, as far as what the fan sees. He's not an intense person like his father. I was listening to a broadcast the other day where David Cohn was like reflecting on George Steinbrenner, like being in meetings with the hitters. And you would see George Steinbrenner in the box. And you remember like interviews with George Steinbrenner, how he would put his foot through the TV when they lost. He felt the pain of like that level of intensity to win, to compete. That it doesn't, at least from the fan perspective, you don't know what Hal's doing. You never see him at Yankee Stadium. So culture, to your point, starts at the very top. And I think Hal Steinbrenner sets the culture of like, yeah, I want to have a good team. I want to make good money, and I do all that. But that intensity, that urgency to win, that permeates down, and then we get Boone baseball, which is everything you articulated, right?
I think you nailed it, Kevin. And it's not that the Yankees, and thank you for the call, it's not that the Yankees or Boone specifically, Aaron Boone is as fiery a competitor as there is. I mean, we've seen that firsthand, even if it's just in the card game that Beat and I have played. His brother, when we've had Brett on with us multiple times talking about the competitiveness of Aaron Boone, you've seen him go nuts on the umpire. So I don't think it's a lack of desire from Boone or from his players. But there is something to be said about the way Hal operates. Now, by the way, his father took it to like another level, which also at times was a detriment. So you got to be careful. It's not all, hey, that fire and all that stuff and, accountability and firing guys. Like, you could also, that could lead to some bad decisions. The way that I would kind of transfer it or have it, be put to use as far as the analogy goes is that at least with George, you knew that if you didn't perform, there were going to be repercussions. Again, he took it too far. With Hal, show me the examples that if you don't perform to the highest of levels consistently, there are going to be repercussions. And I don't want to say acceptance because it's also a delicate thing. Like, I get it. The pushback is going to be, yeah, we do perform at a high level consistently. We win 90 games the majority of the time, and we're in the playoffs every year, the majority of the year. I get it, but if you're looking at just those numbers and being, well, everything's fine, that's to me more business-like than, okay, what's wrong here? And maybe it's time for a change, a deeper dive. I'm not trying to cost people jobs. I want Aaron Boone to be the Yankee manager as long as I'm here at the radio station. I'd love to have Aaron Boone be the manager here. I love him. Personally, he's a great dude. And I do think he's a good manager. But what I think is wrong is the way the Yankees organization has gone about trying to develop these players and not having managers, whatever level, hold these guys more accountable and be a little bit more, I don't even want to say critical or harsh on them, but just like, a little pat on the back or a terse talking is obviously not going to do enough. There have to be actions. There's a comfortability with the Yankees, whether it's front office, manager, or certainly players. There's a comfortability there knowing that, I'm not trying to pick on Volpe, but knowing that, because it's year 3 with him. And he's one player who has severely underperformed his expectations. And not once has he been moved down. Like, he hasn't been sent down. He hasn't been benched. Nothing has happened in 3 years. And talking to Jazz, giving him a little talking to, not benching him, just saying, like, what the hell are you doing? Is that going to work? Does Jazz truly feel like that mistake is going to cost him anything? Or is it just like, yeah, I know, Skip, I messed up. I'm sorry, it won't happen again. Or does he truly feel in his own mind like, crap, I better get it together, otherwise I'm going to be out of here? And again, I hate to even use like softness or whatever, but there just doesn't seem to be that. I'll tell you this. Let's use the Mets as an example here. Steve Cohen is not George Steinbrenner, right? He's not, at least now he hasn't shown it publicly, to overreact and flip out and make rash decisions. He'll let his guys, he'll hire the right people, let them do their job. But I guarantee you that if we're in year 3 or 4, because year 3 would be next year, maybe even next year, maybe even as soon as next year, if Carlos Mendoza does not get the Mets to play a consistent brand of baseball at a very high level, he's going to be on watch. Or Stearns, whatever. I'm not saying those two guys in particular, but there seems to be a feel that Cohen has, even though he's a little bit hands-off, especially in comparison to George. There's a feeling that if there's not, and the Mets organization has shown it, even with David Stearns. Hey, they signed a guy, Joey Wendell last year, signed a guy to whatever contract he had. Not a huge one, but decent free agent contract. Not performing, he's out. See you later. Guys don't get the job done in the pen, out. See you later. Guy flips his glove up into the stands. It's not, oh, well, you know what? He could really help us. Remember, at the time they made that decision, what the hell's the guy's name? Lopez? Whatever it was. Where he threw his glove into the stands. The Mets desperately needed bullpen arms. Desperately needed bullpen arms. Didn't matter. Can't do that. There's an accountability level that other organizations have shown. And the Yankees just haven't. You can pick apart who you want to blame, but yes, I do think that kind of starts with the top, where the Yankees could fail and miss the postseason and fall short of the World Series. Remember, the only year they made the World Series since 2009 was with Juan Soto, and then they lost Juan Soto. And everybody's saying it's supposed to be better this year. It's gotten worse. Doesn't mean the results can't eventually get better, and I think that they will, but there still is a core issue here. I think the Yankees have a culture problem, letting players get away with stuff that should not be gotten away with. BT and Sal on the Fan. More calls when we come back. If you live in New Jersey, your electricity rates are going up again. If your current cooling system is over 15 years old, get ahead of that rate increase now with a new high-efficiency Carrier AC system. There's only one company to call, my friends at Edison Heating and Cooling, New Jersey's air conditioning experts, and they have been for decades. Take it from me, you'll save money and stay cooler. These guys are true experts. Love them. Contact my friends now at edisonhvac.com. They do excellent work. edisonhvac.com.
It's Chris McMonagle overnights on the Fan, 101.9 FM.
I don't care if the Mets are playing an American League team that is in even remote contention of the wild card. Let's go Mets. Let's go Mets. And if you can't do the same as a Met fan cheering on, if you can't say let's go Yankees, you're crazy.
Listen to CMAC on demand on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is Boomer Esiason with an Odyssey Sports Minute. Saturday's Race of the Century at the World Aquatics Championships in Singapore featured 18-year-old Canadian superstar Summer McIntosh against 28-year-old 9-time Olympic gold medalist Katie Ledecky in the women's 800 meters. The GOAT captured her 7th world title, clocking a championship record time of 8:05.62. I'm Boomer Esiason.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
DQ presents the sound of happy. Hear that? That's the DQ chicken strip basket. Only $7.49 for a limited time. We're talking 4 100% white meat seasoned chicken strips served with fries, Texas toast, and DQ's signature country gravy. Yeah, you heard that right.
For crunch time in no time, it can only be the DQ Chicken Strip Basket. Just $7.49 for a limited time. Get it delivered in the DQ app. Happy tastes good at participating locations.
Tune in to the BT and Sal Show weekdays from 10 to 2 on The Fan, presented by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac is the official luxury vehicle of the New York Mets.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Town Fair Tire is Connecticut's largest name brand discount tire dealer. We give you the guaranteed lowest prices on all name brand tires and honor all manufacturers' rebates. We even honor our competitors' rebates. With over 100 stores from Connecticut through New England and an inventory of over 600,000 tires, you'll always get the right tire at the guaranteed lowest price. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody!
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
We've got more sports talk coming up on The Fan.
The Fun in the Sun event is on at Nielsen Dodge. Your new Jeep, Chrysler, Dodge, or Ram is here with 0 down payment, 0% financing available, and the credit help you deserve. Now that's fun.
Lease a new 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee Altitude X 4x4, just $359 a month. Or lease a new 2025 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab 4x4, just $399 a month. Or choose from hundreds of quality certified pre-owned vehicles.
You can get up to $1,500 over book value for any trade.
On Route 10 in East Hanover. Online at NielsenDodge.com. A proud member of the Nielsen Auto Group.
So, for super hot deals and fun savings, remember,
fun is in the driver's seat.
Make this the summer event.
With approval term Jeep 24 Ram 42 months due at sign Jeep 4654 Ram 4989 and tax tag 498 dock and DMV fees.
Whenever water damage strikes your home or business, call on the cleanup and restoration specialists at 1-800-SERVPRO to help make it like it never even happened. That's 1-800-SERVPRO.
Franchises are independently owned and operated.
Injured in an accident? Your case in the hands of one lawyer may settle for $100,000, but in the hands of the right law firm could be worth millions. The Rothenberg Law Firm has been representing injury victims for over 50 years, winning and collecting billions for our clients. And we're not stopping now. The Rothenberg Law Firm, 1-800-624-8888, or visit us at injurylawyer.com.
Be lawyer for injured ones. Injurylawyer.com.
Sal Licata here, and wow, are we thrilled with the incredible job CertaPro Painters did on our house. So clean, so efficient, they actually listened to us and even satisfied my wife, which, as you know, isn't easy. If you've been putting off painting because of the economy or tariff worries, don't. Painting your house is the easiest and most efficient way to protect and raise your home's value. Do what we did. Call CertaPro Painters today.
Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated.
Hey, Yankees fans, come out to Yankee Stadium on Friday, September 5th, when the Yankees host the Toronto Blue Jays, and be ready to receive the Yankees promotional giveaway. It's Austin Wells football jersey night. The first 18,000 guests will receive an Austin Wells football jersey, presented by Bank of America. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com/tickets. Again, don't miss the Yankees and Blue Jays for Austin Wells football jersey night on Friday, September 5th. Visit Yankees.com/tickets today.
Talk New York sports here. The Fan.
It is time for the Wendy's Yankee Yankees Turning Point of the Game contest. Wendy's, the official hamburger of the New York Yankees. Be the first call to correctly identify yesterday's Turning Point of the Game at 866-540-WFAN. That's 866-540-9326. And you'll receive 2 pairs of tickets to a Yankee 2025 regular season game. It's all from your flagship station for New York Yankees baseball, The Fan. It is a big series tonight for the Yanks. I mean, look, you want to ignore the deeper-rooted issues, that's fine, and just focus on this year. And you know, it's well within your right as a fan, whatever you feel like you want to do. You want to get mad because they lost to the Marlins or because they're behind the Red Sox now, the Yankees in third place in the American League East. I'm not going there, only because I still trust. I know it's like they keep getting worse and worse and worse, and you don't want that to happen where they're going backwards, but they're a start away from Max Fried tonight and a return from Aaron Judge this Tuesday in Texas. Judge comes back tomorrow. At least he's expected to come back tomorrow. From, you know, they win a couple of games here and everything looks great all of a sudden. You look at the wild card and you're not worried about missing the postseason. Yanks right now are in second place in the wild card race. They have a half-game lead over the Mariners, who were the third team there. And the team that they're playing tonight, Texas, is 2 games back. So it is an important series as far as the standings go. We know that. Like, that's obvious. The Guardians are thought to be dead and sellers, and they're right there, 3 games back. Can I take the Rangers, Guardians, Royals, Rays? Do I really take them seriously as far as chasing down the Yankees to make them miss the postseason? Because it's not about Boston. It's not about Seattle. It's about if the Yankees were to miss the postseason, it would be due to Texas, Cleveland, Kansas City. Come on, man. I'm sorry. Like, maybe Texas could be a threat with their pitching. Maybe. But as, in comparison to the Yankees, even with the Yankees' issues, and everybody keeps harping on, well, the Marlins, getting swept by the Marlins. It's not like the Marlins are some awful team. The Marlins, and I know this is new now, the Marlins have been playing much better baseball as of late. They finally got to 500 yesterday, but they're just 7.5 games back. Like the Atlanta Braves earlier in the year, the Braves, this, Braves, that. Braves have been long buried. The Marlins are not. If you want to make it a 3-team race in the National League East, the Marlins would be the 3rd team. So let's not make it like the Marlins are, chopped liver in baseball and the Yankees should be that embarrassed. It was a brutal loss Friday. You scored a bunch of runs. You lost in a game you just felt was going to happen. None of the relievers could get anybody out. Bad defense as well. Okay, it happens. And over the rest of the weekend, you just got beat. You got beat by better pitching, beat by better hitting, whatever you want to say. You just got beat. It happens. The Yankees have had this happen before to far lesser teams. They're going to bounce back from that. I fully believe they'll bounce back. They'll be a playoff team. I think they're going to win the division still. 50 games to go. And they have a soft schedule, and once Judge comes back, things could look drastically different. Now, I do worry about that rotation. I mean, that would be the concern with me about the starting rotation. It's hard to win a lot of games when your rotation is as bad as it is. And if Luis Heel is going to do what he did yesterday, Yanks are in big trouble. Because the whole talking about was, Heel's coming back. They don't need to start. For those who were bowing down to the greatness of Brian Cashman at the deadline, and I was not one of them. Remember, I said, the Yankees did fine. They got a bullpen. They needed to do that bare minimum. They didn't go over the top. So for those who were bowing down to Brian Cashman, well, it was a lot of that was relying on Luis Heel coming back. And again, it's just one start. He's working his way back in, but guys haven't thrown a pitch this year prior to yesterday. So now that Heel's back and you saw that, I mean, they're going to need Heel, Schlittler. All of a sudden, these guys are big factors in the final 50 games here to make sure they secure a playoff spot. I think ultimately they will, but I just fear that the deeper issues, the culture issues, the lack of accountability, those are things that I just fundamentally can't get behind in believing in a team. As much as the Yankees offense can put the fear of God in you, as much as Max Fried is a beast, a legit ace, as much as that bullpen should be one of the best bullpens in baseball once it, gets straightened out here as these guys get settled in. I still don't fundamentally believe in the way the Yankees operate and the way that they execute on the field. And that's been my mindset for years. I didn't think they were good enough to go to the World Series last year. And I do chalk it up to, they played Kansas City and Cleveland, who stink, but still, they got there, can't take it away from them. But I think that's more the aberration than the norm with the Yankees, especially the way that they do things here. Lawrence is in Oklahoma City. What's up, Lawrence?
Hey, thanks for talking to me today.
What's up?
With the Yankees, it's like the bar is always set with them winning a World Series, and like whether that is fair or not, that's where the bar is set. And for multiple years, short of last year making the World Series, it hasn't been accomplished. And then at the end of the year last year, the whole narrative around the Yankees is that they're a sloppy team, and to not address that and to have it get worse this season, it stinks from the head. Like you said, I want to blame Boone but Boone is a pawn. So, it stinks from the head. It's a culture issue.
But think about it, Lawrence. They said they knew that they had issues with that last year, and they changed players. They brought in a bunch of different players, and it's still happening. So how can anybody think, it's not an individual player thing? A lot of this blame was on Gleyber Torres, even Juan Soto. Oh, Soto's not good on the bases. Soto's not good in right field. And look at what he's done with the Mets, by the way, on the bases. Oh, he's not good. I thought a lot of that was overblown. Is he great out there? No, but he's fine. He's not the problem. He's as headsy a baseball player as there is. He's got a very high IQ, baseball IQ. So Soto, Gleyber, those guys are out of here. Yanks should be better. And it's gotten worse. How's that? What happened to Anthony Volpe? Austin Wells, Jazz, Dominguez. These are the guys that have had these absurd mental breakdowns or mistakes. And what's the common theme? None of them have been held accountable since they've been here. Joey Clams is in Brooklyn. What's up, Joey Clams?
Hey, Sally boy, how you doing, my man?
What's up, Joey?
Listen, it does start with Hal Steinbrenner. This is his thing, and he let Cashman put the meat hooks in this organization and tear it apart when he said lefties were going to be won't be in baseball because of the shift. He went with an all-righty softball DH team. People underestimate how important it is to have a coaching staff. This coaching staff has been terrible for years, especially on the bases. It's not just this week, last week. It's every year there's a problem running the bases and problem with the coaching. You got to get coaches in that dugout that played the game. Even if they weren't Yankees, you got to get coaches that played the game. Who's listening to these guys? These guys are ham and eggs in there. You got to get coaches that played the game, who've been through it, who've been through the wars, who've been through situations. He needs a guy next to him to help him. There's no way, after those two guys vomited on the mound on Friday night, somebody should have said, hey, Aaron, listen, let's go get our guy in there. Let's get the hell out of here. This ain't working. And maybe the plane ride and the phone calls or who's walking my dog, who's taking my apartment, who's packing my luggage. You have to get coaches in there that played the game. You need a police in there. You need somebody.
But Boone
you need coaches in there.
Joey,
yes,
but Boone,
that's how it worked all the time. That's how it worked all the time.
That's not true. You don't.
That's how it
Joey,
worked.
Joey. No, Joey, stop talking. Joey. Good God, I'm in a good mood. I'm trying to calm down today. Can you have a conversation? I'm trying to interrupt the conversation. I mean, geez, let me have a word. Good God, Joey, calm down. You don't need high-profile coaches or managers. By the way, Boone played at a high level. So it's not that they don't have coaches that weren't great players. That's not it. It's that they don't hold guys accountable. Trying to take it easy today. I didn't go nuts. I didn't start yelling and screaming, and Joey can't let me get a word in. Good God, Joey Clams. Come on. I heard you. I heard what you have to say. I disagree with it. Sometimes the biggest names are the worst coaches. Oh, Magic Johnson, he's going to be a great head coach. No, not really. Or great players, whatever you want to. It's happened many times before. Great players aren't necessarily great coaches. So you don't need a high-profile first base coach or third base coach. That's not the issue. The issue is the lack of accountability. The issue is when somebody, whoever it may be, tells a player to do something and they don't do it, what happens? The answer is nothing. And that's the problem. Regardless of if a Hall of Famer says it to him or a guy that never got to the big league says it to him. If nothing's going to happen if they don't listen, that's the problem. BT and Sal on the Fan. More calls when we come back.
The Yankees are heading to Texas to play the Rangers. 8 o'clock tonight.
Giddy up, baby. Giddy up. God, it's a home run.
Driven by Jeep.
That was an extraordinary play.
Susan Waldman and Dave Sims call all the play-by-play on the Fan. Woo! 101.9 FM and always live on the free Odyssey app.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter. the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Life's rewarding, especially with Flushing Bank's Complete Cash Rewards program. Just open a personal or business complete checking account to get started. With 29 New York Metro locations, there's nothing easier or more rewarding. Visit FlushingBank.com today. Member FDIC.
Want to take your cooking to the next level? Here's what Master Chef Tom Colicchio had to say about Made in Cookware.
I always tell aspiring cooks, focus on mastering your technique, hone the muscle memory, and use the highest quality tools you can get your hands on. I use Made In both at home and here at Craft in New York City. They're beautifully made, and they let my team and me focus on making memorable meals night after night.
Learn more at madeincookware.com. That's MADEIN cookware.com.
Before you begin your road trip, ask yourself, do you really need 5 full suitcases? With the new 2026 Kia Sportage X Pro's class-leading cargo space, you'll have room for what you need. Find out more at your local Kia dealer today. Keep the adventure going. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-3334-KIA for details. Always drive safely and obey all traffic laws. Comparisons based on second row legroom and cargo space behind second row seats in the subcompact SUV class according to Kia segmentation as of June 2025.
Our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Talk sports with BT and Sal. Middays 10 to 2. WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1 New York, and Odyssey Sports Station.
WFAN Sports Flash.
Good morning at 11:02. I'm Andrew Bogish. Your Sports Flash is sponsored by Flushing Bank. With their first preseason game now on the horizon, Brian Dable asked this morning how Russell Wilson is doing as the Giants starting QB, and the head coach said, I'm glad Russ is here.
He's provided leadership to our football team in various ways, not just in the quarterback room, but meeting extra with the entire offense, how he communicates with defensive players, the experience that he's had throughout his career.
The Giants open their preseason Saturday afternoon at the Bills. The Jets have a 12:45 practice today after taking yesterday off. The Yankee road trip shifting to Texas. That's where they find a Rangers team that just lost 3 of 4 to Seattle, dropping 2 games behind the Mariners for the last AL wildcard. The Yanks only a half game ahead of Seattle. 2 lefties on the mound tonight, Max Fried and Patrick Corbin. First pitch at 8:05 here on the Fan. The Mets now welcome the Guardians to Queens. Cleveland had a 4-game run snapped yesterday. They are 3 games away from a wild card spot. Sean Manaea throwing tonight's first pitch at 7:10. That game, of course, over on Odyssey Mets Radio. Fan weather, it's 75 degrees with clear skies in Central Park, and that is what's happening. Sports Flashes top of every hour. I'm Andrew Bogish.
Get connected with WFAN to talk about your favorite teams. The Fan on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
BT and Sal back on the Fan. BT on vacation. 888-808-1019. The number to call. Yankees going backwards. Mets not doing much better here. There is a big difference, though, and it's not why it's why I wouldn't go nuts about the Mets. Although they've been losing a lot of ball games, getting swept in San Diego, then losing 2 out of 3 to the Giants. They better get it turned around quickly against the Guardians. Mets have some flaws, but it's so different than the Yankees, and it doesn't mean that the Mets are better than the Yankees. I could already hear it, the Yankee fans, like Joey Clams out there. Sal, I disagree with everything you say. Oh, you read my Yankees, man. Am I ripping your Yankees, or am I being honest about things? Ripping the Mets as well. But it is different where the Mets don't have these fundamental flaws that have been going on for years. It's not the same problems. Mets' biggest issues right now, 2 issues for me with the Mets. Number one is my biggest concern right now is the lack of consistency from the offense. I know that others will say starting rotation. For me, it's the lack of consistency in the offense, because I think ultimately, if Alonso and Lindor, and I'm not worried about Soto, we can get to him in a second. If Alonso and Lindor don't hit consistently in the playoffs, they're not going anywhere. The Mets will be you could throw Nimmo in there as well. They're what they call them, the Fab Four, whatever I'm not a Beatles guy, but whatever you want to call them. Their main 4 guys, if they don't produce, the Mets aren't going anywhere. So the runners in scoring position has been an issue for Soto specifically. I know the team, but more specifically Soto. That's my big issue. But I believe that will change and change in the biggest of ways in the postseason with Soto. It has to. Otherwise, the Mets have no chance. The other issue is the rotation, and it's not giving depth. So, yeah, it's great to have all these different bullpen pieces, but if the starters continue to go 3-4 innings, there's no point in having all these bullpen weapons. Now, that's got to get fixed. How that's going to get fixed is the question. You could rely to a certain extent on Minaya and Senga to start building themselves back up into being actual starting pitchers, not just openers. And I don't know about Clay Holmes. You certainly know Montas has got to get replaced. David Peterson's been fine, so don't worry about him. Montas, we told you, in the offseason, I tried to warn David. I think we all did on that one. Look, I know David Stearns has been Wonder Boy here and done a lot in the pitching lab that people like to reference, whatever it may be. But Frankie Montas, to me, was where the rubber would meet the road. If the Mets could ever fix him, then there is something going on with their lab. And obviously it's not. And I don't know how much longer, with 50-something games to go, how much longer you can roll Frankie Montas out there. You're trying to win a division, and they are. You're trying to go win a World Series, and they are. You can't roll Frankie Montas out there. And now the deadline is come and gone, and they don't have another starter. Who's it going to be? And that's the thing. The Mets are going to have to dip into the minors, whether it is Sproat, whether it is McClain. I would assume it's going to be one of those two guys. I doubt Tong. But whatever it may be, they need to pick the one that they feel is ready and insert him in the starting rotation sooner than later, and maybe that could take them to another level. But they're right there. They're close, obviously, right there within the division with the Phillies. They're now a half game back as they jockey back and forth for position. They'll play each other 7 times head-to-head here. Mets got the Guardians and then go to Milwaukee, which should be a tough series against the best team in baseball in the Milwaukee Brewers. But I'm not overly concerned about the Mets, but they do have 2 issues that need to be fixed here as they go out there and try to win a division. Whereas with the Yankees, like I said, same thing. I'm not necessarily worried just about the results. I think that'll change and that'll get better, especially when Judge comes back. I'm more worried about the culture problem that the Yankees have and the lack of accountability that continues to breed these mistakes. Won't happen again. Nope, won't happen again, boss. Won't happen again. It used to happen with me at Home Depot when they used to have a clock to punch in, and I was always late. And now the difference is that I was penalized to a certain extent, at least financially. If you punched in on that red clock after 7 minutes, like let's say my shift started at 1 and I punched in at 1:07, I still got paid from 1 on. So I became a pro at getting there like 1:06, 1:07. But if I got there at 1:08 and you get docked, at least there were some repercussions. But ultimately, if it's like nobody said anything. Oh, Sal, you got to show up on time. Nobody said anything. So I kept doing it. If I showed up here, and it's a little different being on the air, but whatever, wherever it is. If I showed up at Home Depot and somebody said, hey, you're late again, you're going to be out of a job. What do you think I'd do? I'd show up on time. I had no worry. They weren't going to fire me. They didn't really care. They don't care. I don't care. I'm not saying that the Yankees don't care, but you get the point. It's at a level where they thought the best way to grow these young players, produce these young players, develop these young players. They thought the best way was to coddle them and to love them. And you've seen it on the field. What do you think is the best way? Forget forget my opinion of what I'm saying. Even forget your opinion. Watch the games. Where's the proof? The proof says what they're doing isn't working. Ralphie's calling from Outer Bridge. What's up, Ralphie?
I appreciate you taking my call.
What's up, Ralphie?
I'm closing in on 70 years old, and I've probably watched 1 million baseball games in my life. I think I have a pretty good handle and, finger on the pulse, so to speak. Yankees lost the division lead with Judge in the lineup. This team has no fluid. They're not consistent. And now all of a sudden, he's coming back, and they're going to go 40-10. My opinion, and
that's a little 40 and 10 is a little rough.
Well, I know I'm being maybe a little facetious, and I'm going to let you. I'm going to hang up and let. I think this Miami series. I think this is very telling. Where I believe they're not going to recover from this. Have a great day.
Yeah, well, thank you, Ralphie. I appreciate checking in. I disagree with that. Like 40-10, obviously, like you said, is not that we win 100 games at that point. I don't think 30-20 is out of the question, and that would get the Yankees to 90 wins. You don't think the Yankees could go 30-20 over the next 50 games, especially with their schedule? I mean, I hope it's the least they could do. They just loaded up on the bullpen. They got Max Fried. They got Aaron Judge coming back. Now, if Judge doesn't come back to full strength, That's a different conversation that we could have. It still doesn't fix the fundamental flaws with this Yankee team. But if Judge doesn't come back to full strength, you talk about the results of this season being irrelevant. Doesn't matter. No Aaron Judge. No point of discussing the Yankees. But with their schedule, 50 games to go with a light schedule, you're telling me the Yankees can't win 30 more games? They absolutely can. And 30 games might win them the division at 90 wins. Maybe it's a couple more. Maybe they do go 32-18, something like that. 40-10, I think was, that's unrealistic. With or without Judge. But I still have confidence in the Yankees to win ball games. I don't think any teams in the American League are great, and I do think the Yankees' strengths can overcome some of their fundamental flaws. To the degree of winning a World Series, absolutely not. I just don't believe in it. And even if they did, like they did get to a World Series last year, I still don't believe in the way that they operate and the way that they do things. That's just me. Doesn't mean that it's right on my part, doesn't mean that it's wrong, and it doesn't mean that their way won't eventually work. I just don't believe in the way that they do things. The lack of accountability is a turnoff for me. The over-reliance on data and analytics and lanes, I would not want that. I want more of a balance. The over-reliance on guys who are going to hit home runs and strike fear in the opponent but strike out far too often. Or guys who can't stay healthy. Giancarlo. Keeping guys at the major league level when they didn't get enough seasoning in the minor leagues. And it's obvious to everybody. Dominguez, Volpe, maybe even Wells. By the way, all those guys proved me wrong. I thought they were going to be better, even in BT. I thought Volpe was going to be a star. We both thought Wells was going to be a star. I thought Dominguez was going to be high impact this year. 0 for 3. But something's got to be done. I would have also sent Volpe down. I would have sent Dominguez down. I'm on record as saying that. And they haven't. And nothing's changed. Mike is calling, but he has hit a couple of homers. Mike is calling from Long Beach. What's up, Mike?
Hey, how you doing, Sal?
Good, Mike. How are you?
You're doing good. You're doing a bang-up job on your own today, man. Hold it down the fort.
Thank you.
I had a question about accountability, and I was talking to the gentleman that answered the phones real quick about it. So if a player makes a bonehead or bad mistake or a bad play, whatever, and and they bench him, they're holding him accountable. But what's the line of throwing somebody under the bus? Because last year when Aaron Rodgers was asked what happened on that play, he said, well, my receiver ran the wrong route. And everybody's like, oh, my God, he threw the guy under the bus. But that's what happens. What's the difference between holding a guy accountable and throwing them under the bus? And I'll hang up and listen.
I love that question, Mike, and thank you for the call. I liked what Rodgers said. You're right. A lot of people had an issue with that. Oh, he's throwing the receiver under the bus. Hey, did he screw up? People are going to perceive things however they want. I could sit here and criticize the Yankees unbiasedly and fairly, but people say, oh, he's a Met fan, he's ripping the Yankees. And that's not happening, but people could take it that way. Rodgers could say, well, the receiver didn't run the right route. And they could say, yeah, that's an egomaniac. Rodgers never taken accountability. Aaron Rodgers taken plenty of accountability throughout the course of his career. He's also been a 4-time MVP and a Super Bowl winner. So, pardon me, but I'll take his word for it over some receiver. And I like that he's open and honest with it. I'd rather that than the protecting guys to a ridiculous degree. You got to call it how it is. How many times have we said, even in the last couple of years, dude, BT and I had this argument earlier this year. I was like, come on, man. Boone's got to give us something. You can't, like when he was not acknowledging that Judge was in a slump. I'm pretty sure that's what it was this year. Oh, Judge? Like, it's not saying that Judge can't hit or Judge's not a good player. But what, we can't acknowledge that he was in a little bit of a funk? He was. We all saw it. Or it's like Lindor. When Lindor was on with us, he wouldn't acknowledge that when he first got here, there was a contentious relationship between him and the Met fan. Hey, I wasn't making that up. I mean, that actually happened. He didn't want to acknowledge it. I can't take him seriously after that. I'm sorry. You got to acknowledge it. It all happened. We saw it. It happened. We all saw it. But yet you're not going to acknowledge it. So the same thing with Boone, time after time after time again. Oh, he's trying to make a play. Oh, we're not that bad. Oh, I got to give guys credit for being aggressive. Oh, again, he's like, he gets on the media. Like, we like to focus on the negative. Volpe made a lot of good plays, too. Aaron, come on. This is the major leagues here. I mean, maybe you should be coaching 10U. I heard there might be an opening. Just kidding. Oh, just kidding. Come on, that was on a tape. Just kidding. Jimmy's calling from South Carolina. What's up, Jimmy?
Hey, Sal Licata. I was going to ask you something. Do you think the Yankees are going to have a winning record? Or do you think they're going to have a losing record? Do you think the Mets are going to have a winning record? Do you think they're going to have a losing record? What do you think?
Oh, Jimmy, I think that's the easiest question ever, and thank you for the call. They both have winning records by the end of the year, by a long shot, and maybe similar records at that. Now, Mets got a little bit of a tougher schedule. Can they win 30 games, 30-some-odd games down the stretch, get them to 93-ish wins? Put it this way, I think the Mets are going to need to do more to win their division. Even though right now Toronto's got more wins than both Philadelphia and the Mets, I still don't trust them to the level that I do the Phillies or the Mets. But I think, yeah, winning records, I mean, and forget, I'll go beyond that, Jimmy. I'll make it a little more difficult. I think both teams are going to make the postseason. I still think both teams are going to win the division. Look, we saw the Yankees play this bad brand of baseball a year ago, and they went to the World Series. You're telling me that with all that's gone wrong for the Yankees, and a lot has gone wrong, losing the guys in the rotation, being without Aaron Judge for a little while here, the bullpen having to be totally revamped. I mean, the Yankees brought in 7 guys at the deadline. There are only 26 on the roster. 7 guys. Not having Giancarlo all year long. Like, there have been some issues here with the Yankees. Not getting I was going to say not getting the best of, but, I mean, close to getting the worst of Volpe, Dominguez, Wells. Like, think about it. Even Goldschmidt. A lot has gone wrong for the Yankees. Getting beaten head-to-head more often than not from both the Blue Jays and the Red Sox, and maybe that's where they get hurt with the tiebreaker. But with all of that, they're just 4.5 games back of the division. With a soft schedule, 4 games in the loss column. That could be overcome. So I'm not overly concerned about the Yankees. That's why I'm saying I'm not reacting to getting swept this weekend. Oh, how could you lose and get swept to the Marlins? This is ridiculous, blah, 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 blah. It's a bigger issue. The results sometimes, a lot of times to me, aren't the primary thing to react to. I like looking a little bit deeper into it. Okay, that's great. They won that game. But here's what I see wrong. Or, okay, they lost that game. Yeah, they lost that game, but that's not big of a deal. The bigger issue is, and for me, to have a series where, guys walking off a second base without knowing how many outs there are in a tight game, like I just don't. It's not that Wells doesn't want to win. It's that there is not the urgency there. There is not the wherewithal to feel like you're living in the moment. I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's just, hey, you know what? I'm just trying to get on base, did my job, trying to hit a home run. Hopefully we mash people, as opposed to, hey, wake up, there's a game going on here. Jazz getting doubled off for first base on a pop-up to second, like, that is, if you got doubled off at first on a liner to second, it's bad enough. But it's at least understood, like it just happens. Doubled off on a pop-up to second base, there's no excuse for Jazz to do anything other than get back to the base. Like, what's he doing? His head is you-know-what. And why is that the case? Because nobody holds him accountable. Mike is on Long Island. What's up, Mike?
Hi, how are you?
Good, Mike. How are you?
You know what I like about you? You're so passionate about things, and you tell it like it is. And the bottom line is a complete lack of discipline from the top down. But how do you get discipline when you have to go by analytics and you have to coddle these professional ball players?
Mike, it's a great question, and that's why I say it's not on Aaron Boone. I mean, I don't know. Do you have a solution? I don't.
I know. Well, it is, but it isn't. It's up to Aaron Boone to say, hey, you know what? He runs the ship. It all falls on him, whether it's his fault or not. But it's his position to go to the top and call the top out. Now, whether you call him out in private or you call him out in public, but yeah, he's not going to do that because he doesn't want to lose his job. So as far as I'm concerned, he's begins with a P. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I know what you mean. I'm not going to go there, but I understand what you're saying. And I do like the thought process, Mike, because I agree with this. Boone knows better, and thank you for the call. Aaron Boone, a baseball lifer. And by the way, part of how we ended up getting him in studio for the show was because I used to refer to him as data applicator, whether it be here or Baseball Night in New York. And I knew that caught his attention years ago, and he took offense to that, as he should, because he's a baseball lifer. He knows better. That's why I'm saying it's a Yankee culture thing, and this is beyond the manager. If, hypothetically, the Yankees fired Boone today, do you really think that all those little miscues are going to get cleaned up? No. The answer is no, it's not. This is a bigger issue. Cashman wants this. Boone, the players love him. Players love him. There's got to be a better balance, though, where the only people he gets fiery with are either the umpires or the media. Whether it's Jake and John Boy, whether it's somebody asking a tough question in the postgame, whether it's him venting his frustration in the postgame, or obviously him losing his mind with an umpire. We've got to see that with the players. Now, he gave it to Jazz pretty good the other day. You could see him being like, what the hell were you doing? The problem is it's too late. If I start to discipline my daughter at age 9 versus age 4, we're going to have a problem. And I'm still trying to learn how to do that. Because the way my father was, no nonsense. I'll yell. The problem is when I yell, she freaks out. So is Boone afraid of Volpe or Dominguez or Jazz freaking out and yelling and crying? Maybe. These players are so sensitive nowadays. I don't know. Maybe. I get yelled at. It wasn't pleasant, but you know what? It scared me into place. And I'm not saying you need to do that, but there does need to be a level of accountability. You can't just say, don't do that. Don't do that. How many times is don't do that got to take place before you actually get up and do something about it? And then you get up and grab her and whatever. No, we're not doing that here, or you can't have this, or whatever it may be. Stop drinking the water in the pool, otherwise we're getting out. I had this issue yesterday. Sitting there in the pool trying to enjoy myself. A little peaceful Sunday before we come back to work. Listening to the ball games on the radio. And I'm telling Sammy, Mommy doesn't like the pool, so she's inside. And I'm telling Sammy, it's me and her, like nice relaxing with the 4-year-old, in the pool. I'm telling her, if I see you drinking that water one more time, you're getting out. Notice I didn't say we're getting out. I said you're getting out. But I really wasn't going to get her out because, Mommy wanted her alone time, and I'm having fun with her in the pool. And I really don't want to ruin the day and make her upset. Then I see her drinking some water, and I say it again. Sammy, stop doing that. At some point, now I did have to do this, threaten to actually get out. Grab her, let's go. And then she starts with the crying, blah, 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 and it turns into a whole mess. But this is dealing with a 4-year-old. It shouldn't be that difficult for Aaron Boone to get it through the Yankees' heads that they can't be playing like that. I don't know if benching is sending the message or whatever, but the point is, too, this should have been nipped in the bud years ago. Like, I'm trying to do this with a 4-year-old now. I'm nipping it in the bud now before it becomes a problem when she's 16, where it'll be out of my – I'll be toast at that point. Oh, Boone's been here since 2018, and this has been going on and progressively getting worse. So tell me exactly what he's supposed to do. I don't think sitting Jazz or benching Volpe or benching Wells, just like it didn't with Torres, is going to make a difference. This is a Yankee culture issue. The BT and Sal Show on the Fan is presented by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Mets. Guys, by now you've heard me talk about Collars & Co., makers of the dress collar polo. They've already sold over 1 million of these amazing shirts. Well, Collars & Co. just came out with a new Maverick Performance Blazer. The blazer's sharp and wrinkle-resistant so you can travel anywhere with it. Just throw it in your bag and it will remain wrinkle-free. It even comes with security zip pockets, a sunglasses loop, and an optional pocket square. I love these shirts. They're great. You got to check them out. They're so comfortable, form-fitting as well. Visit collarsandco.com and check them out today.
Talk Yankees trades, Mets stats, Giants defense, and Jets prospects. All in one place. The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always streaming on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn apps.
Are you ready to make this summer electric? Get behind the wheel of a Ford Mustang Mach-E. This is no ordinary EV, folks. This is the only EV good enough to be called a Mustang. Bred with the same performance as its legendary namesake, the Mach-E delivers high-voltage thrills with every acceleration. And with its sleek design and innovation at every turn, you'll be well connected to the road and all of your senses. Experience the Mach-E for yourself. Visit your local Ford store today and check it out.
D'Agostino & Associates is a legacy firm that's there to help accident victims. I'm attorney Jenna D'Agostino, continuing the legacy my father, John D'Agostino, started 35 years ago when he built D'Agostino & Associates, the injury firm, one client at a time.
I grew up on these New York and New Jersey streets. They shaped me. I'm attorney John D'Agostino from D'Agostino & Associates, the injury firm. I often tell the story of how my father lost his leg in a construction accident so people understand I've been there and I'll be there for you. Call my team first. 888-24-LAW-24. 888-24-LAW-24.
Continuing the legacy means working closely with my father and our team. When you're injured, we know a big decision has to be made. Call our team first.
D'Agostino and Associates, the injury firm. We have offices throughout New York and New Jersey. I've been there, and I'll be there for you. Call my team first. 888-24-LAW-24. 888-24-LAW-24. D'Agostino Law Bite Back.
Oh, no.
Ah, that's the sound of someone who's misplaced
My debit card.
their debit card.
Where'd I leave that thing?
Not at the gas pump, or the checkout counter, or the roof of your car. Now, if he has the Chase mobile app, he can use Card Lock.
Wait, I could just lock my card.
Yep, just a few tippy taps on his phone, and that sound? That's peace of mind from Chase.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. member FDIC.
Mira, Jorge, let's bring the nail gun over here.
Jose stands tall atop his sustainable flooring company.
Totally. It's renewable and moisture resistant, but we have several green options too. Or we got some beautiful reclaimed oak.
But floored by his success, he needs to hire more installers.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
We're always talking New York sports on The Fan.
Hi, Zoe Saldana. Welcome to T-Mobile. Here's your new iPhone 16 on us.
Thanks. And here's my old phone to trade in.
You don't need a trade-in. When you switch to T-Mobile, we'll give you a new iPhone 16. Plus, we'll help you pay off your old phone up to $800, and you still get to keep it.
There's always a trade-in.
Not right now at T-Mobile.
I feel like I have to give you something in return for karma.
That's okay.
I don't really have much in my purse. Oh, let's see. Juice box. I'm a mom.
I'm good. Seriously.
Let me check. Oh, hot sauce. Take it.
Really, I'm fine.
Oh, I have raisins, a balloon. Wait one sec. I've got cupcakes in the car.
Switch to T-Mobile. Get a new iPhone 16 with Apple Intelligence on us. No trade-in needed. We'll even pay off your phone up to $800.
With 24 monthly bill credits, new line, $100 per month on Experience Beyond. Finance agreement $829.99 and qualifying ported. For well qualified plus tax and $10 connection charge. Pay out via virtual prepaid card. Allow 15 days. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. See T-Mobile.com.
Luxury just got tripled with Mercedes-Benz of Edison, Union, and Freehold, New Jersey. 3 powerhouse locations, 1 legendary name. Ray Katina. More selection, more convenience, and more ways to drive excellence. Experience the power of 3. Visit BenzFam.com.
Hi, we're Wren Kitchens. In our 50-year history, we've made and installed millions of quality kitchens, and now you can find us at the Home Depot across the tri-state area. With thousands of styles and colors to choose from, we offer a free home measurement service and expert design consultation. All of our kitchens are made in the U.S. and delivered directly to you and installed by our specialist fitters. We cut out the middleman to save you money. And with our flexible financing, you can spread the cost over 7 years. Come down to Wren Kitchens at the Home Depot now. Finance subject to credit approval. Offers may change. See website for more details.
The times you spend with your friends and loved ones are the best. Those selfies you take now will shape memories that will last a lifetime. Make sure you stay in the picture and stay away from fentanyl. Only 2 milligrams of fentanyl can cause an overdose. So learn about the dangers and risks of this frightening, deadly drug at stayinthepic.nj.gov. Don't risk your life and all those wonderful memories you're creating. Stay in the picture and stay away from fentanyl. Know all the risks. Visit stayinthepic.nj.gov.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Get the scuttlebutt on your favorite team, The Fan, on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn.
There we go. We got a little Nicki Minaj talk in there. Always fun to have here on the Fan. Remember, the Yankees, let's not overreact with this Tuesday in Texas. Tomorrow night, Aaron Judge will be back for them, or is expected to be back. Max Fried tonight. That can change quickly. The way the results are on the field can change quickly, and you'll get sucked right back in. You know it. You know, we've been down there before. I had this with BT all the time. He does the same thing. Oh, they lose a series, you want to sell. Oh, they win a series, all right, they're going to go to the World Series or be good, or Cashman's going great. Like, no, it should be consistent. The Yankees are a team that is going to have, they're going to have a good record. Like, they're not going to fall out of, the wild card spot, you wouldn't think, and have a record under 500. Going to take a lot to get there. So even with all the issues, they're still right there. Still can win the division. As soon as tonight, they could turn it back around. It took a lot to happen what it did with the Marlins. I still feel like the Yankees offense will eventually, especially when Judge returns, will eventually make up for a lot of these mistakes that they make. But I still also vehemently disagree about the way that they build their ball club. I just can't get in line with thinking that it's why I was yelling and screaming for Quan to go get Quan the other day. Oh, no, Sal, what are you, crazy? You're going to give up Spencer Jones or Dominguez for Quan? Yeah, why would I do that? You're right. I'm the idiot. I know nothing about baseball. Why would I want to trade for a guy that can bat leadoff in front of Judge and Bellinger, that's been a Gold Glover and an All-Star, that puts the bat on the ball, something the Yankees don't do? He catches it, he throws it, he hits it. Why would I want that? I'll hold out hope of the light tower power. Or Spencer Jones, who were there concerns about he might not hit Major League pitching, which he still hasn't. It's like, oh, no, the concerns are gone now. He can hit Major League pitching. Well, based on what exactly? Has he hit Major League pitching? I haven't seen it. I mean, come on. You guys got to get a grip here. I need to change. I'm looking for the Yankees to change the construction of the ball club and also change their philosophy in what they want and how they build the ball club, how they develop young players, how they hold them accountable. And when you're 7 years in, whatever it is, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Yeah, 8 years in with Aaron Boone. 8 years in with this regime. Obviously, Cashman had been here a while, but Cashman, Boone, that combination, 8 years in, do you really think things are going to change all of a sudden? There's only one way that things are going to change. And you know what that is. Patrick is calling from Central Jersey. What's up, Patrick?
What's up? How you doing, Sal? You're killing it today by yourself.
Thank you, Patrick. What's on your mind?
I just wanted to know, I know that the rot starts from the head here with Cash, but if we were to replace Cash or if we were only to replace Boone, I wanted to know, I've been hearing some people saying maybe we should bring back Girardi because he actually held players accountable and he still sounds sharp on the broadcast.
Yeah, but
I want to know what your thoughts were on that.
My issue with that is, Patrick, I'm not looking to go backwards either. And he also failed in Philadelphia. Philadelphia got rid of Girardi and they got better with Robbie Thompson. So, I want to be clear. I'm not advocating for Boone to get fired. I think that would be stupid. What I would say is I said it in 2021. That's going back a long time now. 2021, after that year, or actually in the midst of that year, before they traded for Rizzo and Gallo and made the postseason and lost to the Red Sox in the wild card game. That was a game not around then. Before that, that season was the first season to me that things were really different because prior to that, the Yankees always had a scary team in the regular season, a dominant team in the regular season, and then they would fall short in the postseason, if not flat out fail in the postseason. And when I say fall short or fail, I mean in comparison to what they did in the regular season. 2017 was the apex, Game 7 of the ALCS. 2018 losing in the first round of Boston. 2019 again to the Astros, hard-fought series, but they lost to the Astros. 2020, very disappointing. The shortened pandemic year, but Luke Voigt was an MVP, and then in the postseason, the Yankees couldn't hit. And then 2021 was the first time that they struggled in the regular season. So for me, that would be signs that it's getting worse. And at that point, I said I would have made a change. Just because, not because Cashman is lost or because Boone's not a good manager. It was because sometimes the way that Cashman told us for their excuse to move on from Girardi was sometimes you just need to change things. Change is needed just for the sake of change. That's what I would have done in 2021. So if I said that in 2021, then how would I not feel that way in 2025 when really nothing has changed? 2022, they started out great, but weren't really that good and got embarrassed in the postseason by the Astros. They looked like they didn't even belong in the ALCS. And there, the Yankee counter, whether it's Hal, Cashman, or Boone, would say, well, we were in the championship series. How bad could we be? You guys are saying we're bad. You want everybody fired, but we got to the championship series. They washed that down in 2023 with missing the postseason. Then they said, okay, well, we acknowledge now we missed the playoffs. We're going to go, he didn't say that they're going to go to town, but we're going to go big. And they went and traded for Juan Soto. And even with that, they still weren't great last year. But they got to a World Series. Then they lost Juan Soto and thought that they were going to build a better ball club in the other areas. All right, our offense isn't going to be as explosive without Soto, but we're going to be a better ball club. And it's been the opposite. Their strength is Max Fried and their power bats. That's their strength, not the other stuff. So again, as I just presented you all the evidence, I don't know what's left to be said. It's not going to change. What you have to hope, and I'm sure it's what the Yankees are hoping, maybe not this particular year, but just in general, what they have to hope is that their talent at some point wins out throughout the course of a postseason. Judge goes nuts. Like, think about it. All these years, we have not seen Aaron Judge take over and carry them through a postseason. If he does that, then maybe they could overcome some of the other stuff. Maybe. Because even last year with Soto and with Torres at the top of the order, even that wasn't enough. And their pitching was good. Even that wasn't enough to overcome the other flaws to win a World Series. So I still have my doubts, but at least you can make the case that, hey, the Yankees say they're going to win 90 games. They'll be in the postseason. Take your chances. Bullpen should be lights out. Whether it is or not, who knows? Again, too, the Yankees settling for less than. I don't know how anybody could dispute that Helsley was the better arm that was obtained, even though he wasn't under control. Helsley's better than anything the Yankees acquired, and the Yankees tried to get him. They didn't want to pay the price that it cost to get him. I mean, those were the reports. I like Bednar. I think he'll be all right. You know, Doval, Bird, I mean, we'll find out, but at least they beefed up their bullpen. If you get the best of those guys and the best of everybody that they have, they could win the World Series. Getting the best of those guys, though, is the key when it's something that has just not happened. Kyle is in West Orange, New Jersey. What's up, Kyle?
What's up, Sal? You are doing a fantastic job, and thank you. I miss BT, but you're doing great, and you just nailed it, right? You hit the nail right on the head. When they got rid of Joe Girardi because he was getting on Sanchez, right? What did they do? You can't get on the catcher, and they got rid of Girardi. And now what they've done is the Yankee organization have built this club to this point where this is all they can do. You're not going to get rid of Cashman because he's getting you players into the playoffs. And the players, hey, we're paying this money. However, it's up to the players. Like you said, you cannot. Jeter said it the other day. You cannot make these mistakes. Keep making these same mistakes.
Right, so we all know. Sorry, Kyle. We all know they're making the mistakes. How are they going to stop it?
Right. Well, see, that's the thing. It's like, how many times are you going to tell them? It's up to the player. Get it in your head.
Right,
but how? Times is the coach going to say, what can you do?
What's going to make I mean, how about holding them accountable for starters?
Well, how about this? Like you said earlier, well, I have two kids, and the same thing. I told my son, if you do that one more time, I'm turning the game off. And what did I do? He did it. I turned the game off. Just like what you're doing. See, I'm a parent, right? I'm a kid. You know, I got an 8-year-old and whatever. So if they sit somebody down, they ain't got nobody to play. They're done. They're cooked.
But that's part of the problem. I mean, to me, it would be. Go ahead.
And thank you, Sal. They have no other. They've created this, and you just said it. We haven't gone. You could have gone after a better reliever. You went after another reliever. You went after this one. Soto, I thought, should have been here. He should have stayed here with New York Yankees. He wanted $5 million more. Give him $5 million more. And they didn't. Okay. And I'm just like going, here we go again. Here we go. This is how this team is done. And until the fans stop coming, that's going to change everything. And that's the way it changed in the 80s.
Well, think about it.
It changed in the 90s.
Think about it, Kyle. True accountability, and thank you for the call. Good stuff. From the fans' perspective, would be that. I'm certainly not saying that that's the case. I get it. I mean, you love going to ball games. You want to go and support your team, win or lose. But if the fans aren't holding the organization accountable, then why would the organization hold anybody within that organization accountable? It's all a nice little successful, to a certain extent, wheel. Hal, Cashman, Booney, they build it. Yanks win 90-plus games. They get in the postseason, roll the dice and take their chances, fall short, and it happens again. The fans go out. They spend money. They bring in players. Like, it's not like the Yankees don't have a good club in comparison to the rest of baseball. We hold the Yankees to a high standard, as they should be held. And it's different from not performing well in big spots. The Yankees have fundamental flaws and a lack of accountability. That's different than going to spend money or trying this or trying that. The way that they have developed, or lack thereof, their young players, the way that they have lacked accountability throughout the organization, those are core issues to me, which is far different than, hey, Judge didn't get it done in the postseason. Or, hey, this guy's not as good as we thought he was going to be. There are many examples for many years that have shown the real issues with the Yankees. They only get away with it because they win. It sounds crazy to even say it, but they win 90-plus games and are in the postseason every year. And then the counter's, yeah, okay, well, you idiot, wouldn't you take that every year? Yeah, but this is a little different. And for the Yankees especially, it shouldn't be acceptable. I'll take the 90 wins. I'll take the playoffs. I won't take a shortstop failing in year 3 without any repercussions. I won't take Gleyber Torres when he was here. Yankees not holding him accountable until it's too late. Or the Yankees telling us that Torres is a shortstop or IKF is a shortstop. I mean, think about all the stuff that's gone on. There are so many examples, I forgot them. It's not a one-time thing. It's not just the Yankees got swept by the Marlins. That's not what we're talking about here. That happens. The other stuff should not. BT and Sal on the Fan.
It's Boomer and Gio, mornings on the Fan, 101.9 FM.
Yeah, it really comes down to Aaron Judge coming back and being the dominant force that he is. So that's what Brian Cashman is banking on.
Listen to Boomer and Gio on demand on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is Maggie Gray with an Odyssey Sports Minute. Micah Parsons wants out, or at least he wants everyone to know why. With no deal in sight, the all-pro edge rusher did the only thing he can, go public in full detail. A 3-page statement, names named, frustrations aired. This isn't a leak, it's a spotlight, and Parsons is more than comfortable in it. If he can't control the contract, he'll control the story. I'm Maggie Gray.
Texting enrolls you into reoccurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could it be lower testosterone?
Lower T.
Happens to most guys after 40. I was in the same boat until I started using Nugenix Total T2.
Total T2, the new one I've seen on TV.
Yep, it's the next generation testosterone booster for both free and total testosterone. It's packed with even more man-boosting power, sending nitric oxide levels skyrocketing in just 3 hours.
It actually works?
I feel like I'm in my 20s again. I've got more energy, better results in the gym, and things are even better in the bedroom. Send them a text and get a complimentary bottle.
Nugenix Total T2 will help you feel like a new man and is only available when you text BICEP to 231-231. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, absolutely free. Text BICEP to 231-231. That's BICEP to 231-231. BICEP to 231-231.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Hazy sunshine, very warm, high 88.
Weather brought to you by Robert Half. Our recruiters' expertise and award-winning AI will find you the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, we know talent. Visit roberthalf.com/talent today.
Sal Licata here, and wow, are we thrilled with the incredible job CertaPro Painters did on our house. So clean, so efficient, they actually listened to us and even satisfied my wife, which, as you know, isn't easy. If you've been putting off painting because of the economy or tariff worries, don't. Painting your house is the easiest and most efficient way to protect and raise your home's value. Do what we did. Call CertaPro Painters today.
Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated.
Stepping into the Kia K4 or K5 isn't just getting behind the wheel of any average sedan. It's stepping into what's next. With a K4, it's stepping into a world that's exciting. With a K5, it's one that's bold. The Kia K4 and K5, the next movement for sedans. See your local Kia dealer or visit kia.com to learn more.
Kia,
movement that inspires. Call 800-333-4KIA for details. Always drive safely.
If you're looking for a great price on Falcon tires, there's only one place to go, Town Fair Tire, where you always get the guaranteed lowest price on Falcon tires. But it doesn't end there, because Town Fair Tire gives you free services for the life of your Falcon tires. More free services than any other tire dealer. That's why we say nobody beats a Town Fair Tire deal, and I mean nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Talk New York sports on the Fan.
The Fun in the Sun event is on at Nielsen Dodge. Your new Jeep, Chrysler, Dodge, or Ram is here with 0 down payment, 0% financing available, and the credit help you deserve. Now that's fun.
Lease a new 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee Altitude X 4x4, just $359 a month. Or lease a new 2025 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab 4x4, just $399 a month. Or choose from hundreds of quality certified pre-owned vehicles.
You can get up to $1,500 over book value for any trade.
On Route 10 in East Hanover. Online at NielsenDodge.com. A proud member of the Nielsen Auto Group.
So, for super hot deals and fun savings, remember,
fun is in the driver's seat. Make this the summer event.
With approval term Jeep 24 Ram 42 months due at sign, Jeep 4654 Ram 4989 and tax tag 498 doc and DMV fees.
How good is a perfectly cooked tomahawk steak? The Chef IQ Sense is the wireless cooking thermometer that eliminates under or overcooking your meat. Order the newly released 3rd generation Chef IQ Sense now and enter code word BOOMER for 15% off at chefiq.com.
When you travel well, your KLM Royal Dutch Airlines ticket takes you to more than just your destination. It takes you to front row views, voices lost in the music, and new shared memories. And when the last song fades,
welcome aboard KLM Royal Dutch.
The KLM Royal Dutch Airlines crew is here to ensure your journey home hits all the right notes.
Fasten seatbelt signs.
KLM Royal Dutch Airlines. When you travel, travel well.
Febreze. It's a classic odor tale. You fried fish for dinner, cleaned up, but the smell is still in the house. And the neighbors are coming over for game night. They're on their way. And then you spray Febreze Air Mist. Febreze Air starts working instantly to fight even your toughest odors, so you go from fish to fresh like that. Now all you have to worry about is Pam cheating at charades. Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
Athletes know performance starts in the gut. At Terra Origin, we fuse ancient Ayurvedic wisdom with modern science to fuel recovery, resilience, and real results. Our most popular gut health formulas are packed with probiotics, prebiotics, and time-tested herbs, supporting digestion, immunity, and endurance from the inside out. Because your gut powers more than your workout. It powers you. Terra Origin. Ancient roots, athletic results. Shop now at TerraOrigin.com.
Catch all the play-by-play with Susan Waldman and Dave Sims. The home of Yankees radio. The Fan on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
BT Sal back on the Fan. BT on vacation, so you have me all week long by myself running wild here on the Midday Show. 888-808-1019. There was something. Now, look, I hate social media. Full disclosure. I understand that we kind of have to have it. I like it to interact with a lot of the positive people, but I hate it in general because most of it is negativity, or at least it seems that that's the case. Today, though, we were rewarded with the brilliance of social media in something that I never. I wish I would have thought of this myself. Whoever came up with this idea from the Giants should get a raise. They should be applauded here. So the New York Giants, and if you're a listener of the Fan, a longtime listener of the Fan, you'll know the story. I'll get into it a little bit here with Hoff. The New York Giants Twitter account on social, or X, whatever you want to call it, they put out a video, which is a promo, Hoff, for the Eli Manning show, which is what? Yeah. What's the deals with the Eli Manning show?
It's season 5. He guys, does interviews with a lot of different people.
That's through the Giants, though?
Yes.
Okay, I did not know that. I know, obviously, the Manning cast and the Omaha Productions, all that stuff. So Eli does a show with the Giants, the Eli Manning show. Season 5 coming soon. So they put out a promo for that. And it starts out with Francesa walking down the hallway lobby of, like, some hotel. And he enters the room to see two New York Giants, Sean O'Hara and Eli Manning, at a dinner table with two San Francisco Giants, Logan Webb and Matt Chapman. And, of course, it's a play on the caller many years ago. I forget do you have the years that you know when that clip was from? I might have been fired at that point, so I don't know if I was running. I don't think I was running the board for Francis. I think I had left at that point, down in the minors at OR or with SNY. But either way, Dan and Warwick called and said, Mike, do you think the San Francisco Giants and New York Giants get together when they're in town? And Mike obviously famously laughed him off the air, like, ha, ha, ha. It was 10 years ago. So what year is this? 2015. So I was in the minors with OR. 10 years ago. That the caller called in, and a 10-year anniversary, even better. Brilliant idea. Whoever came up with the idea and then the execution to get it to happen, get the Giants, Eli and O'Hara, and then get Webb and Chapman in the same room to film this, and Mike, get the big guy there as well. Just a brilliant idea on social media. It's funny. But anyway, the caller called and said that, and Mike laughed him off the air. And it's been referenced throughout the course of the last decade as well, many times. To have that is great. I started watching it because it went viral. And I'm like, what is this? And then I see Francesa going down, walking in that room. I mean, that's you find out who did this, Hoff? Do we know who came up with that idea?
There seems to be a lot of different hands, but Nile over at the Giants, he was I think he was the brains behind it. I think he was the originator of it all. But there's a lot of different people that were involved, though.
And then to get it executed, a tremendous job. Can we get Dan and Warwick on? Where is he?
You know what? It's funny because I got a text from Harrison over the weekend.
Harrison Francesa.
Yeah, and he asked me if anybody's been in touch with him, and I had no idea why he was asking, and now it makes sense because they were going to release this video. So I don't know where he is, though.
Dan and Warwick probably went away once Spike got hired and ruined the station.
Was he really Dan and Warwick, though? Was that a real?
I have no idea.
Really him?
I have no idea, but that's who called. I don't know. I mean,
it could have been Joe in Smithtown.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, that could really be who he is.
Either way, it's a famous call. I'm sure if you're listening to this, you're familiar with it, and you got to check it out from the Giants social media account. It's great just to see Mike walk in the room, the way they execute it. Just a brilliant job by the Giants. Hey, getting us set for football season. I'm excited. We got games this week. Giants, Jets, little preseason action.
Did you ever really think, though, that Mike had that sense of humor in him?
Yes, I do think that Mike has a sense of humor that maybe people would not give him proper credit for. In that spot, see, this is not Mike making fun of himself. I mean, maybe that could be a little bit of an issue. Maybe he wouldn't want to make fun of himself the way that some others would, but whatever, to each their own. I mean, that's why he's Mike. But this is not making fun of him. This is making fun of that caller and the whole situation. I think it's great. Yeah, I mean, Mike's funny. He's got those witty one-liners. Say something funny, Mike. It's not easy to be funny on the spot like that. But that was just great. I'm glad that Mike played the part and took the time to go out there and film that. It was well worth it for a viral thing.
And he does have a line in the video, too, that was he nailed it. Like, honestly, if you gave him...
Which one? So what, they do get together? So
they do get together. Like, the way he delivered that, I'm like, you know what? Now I know why Adam Sandler hunted him out and get him in a movie.
Oh, that's right. He was in that movie. Full disclosure, I tried to get the star of the day on the show. I got a text back. He's playing. I'm assuming he's playing golf.
For how many hours?
I don't know. But right now, I said you want probably through 2. I mean, I said we're here, no BT, so you don't have to worry about it. Soft landing spot, big guy, just me and you. BT's away. Sal will play. Let's get the big guy. No, obviously because of the we've had BT and I had Mike on before.
No, you have.
So yeah.
Any chance you can give like an open-ended, like it doesn't have to be today, it could be tomorrow?
Nah, I'll follow up later. I got to talk. We get some business to tend to anyway. I'm trying to go up to Saratoga in a couple weeks, see if that box is available. All right, BT and Sal, the fan, 888-808-auto-9. The number to call. Jim is calling from Franklin Lakes. What's up, Jim?
Hey, Sal, great show. Sal, Evan and Tiki did a interview with Cashman after the trade deadline. Not sure if you listened to it.
Some of it, yes. I was working at SNY, but I got some of the notes. Go ahead.
All right, I'd love you to play this clip for the fans who didn't hear it because it's so insulting. They asked him about Volpe and how come he didn't get sent down. And he has the you-know-what to say, well, what was my alternative? Sal,
that's the wrong answer.
A general manager of a team with a $300 million-plus payroll is asking the fans what his alternative was. That's his only job, is to construct a roster that has replacements in case things go wrong. I found that extremely embarrassing for an answer. I hope you guys can find it.
Wrong answer. We're on it now, Jim. Good call. We appreciate it. Yes, I did see that Cash was going to be on with those guys. That was Friday, right? Obviously, the day after the deadline. Yeah, I was at work at SNY, so I couldn't listen to the whole thing. Read some bits and pieces of it online. We'll see if we can get that. But either way, that's the wrong answer. And that's been an answer, by the way. I'm not surprised by it. But it's the wrong answer. It's been the answer that Boone would give when these things come up. We have it, or we don't have that clip in the system. Either way, you can't say that. He's got to have a response. Like my counter to that, and I don't know what Evan Tiki said after, it would have been like, well, how about anybody that could just catch the ball and keep it moving? Why don't you go get a major league shortstop? I mean, you got to have, because it's not even just about the results of that game. For me, the more important thing is the developing of Anthony Volpe. How is this a good thing for him? You want to say he's going to hit his way out of it? Okay, maybe. But it's year 3. The obvious counter, just like their obvious counter, the Yankees' obvious counter to any criticism would be, we're in the playoffs every year, we win 90 games every year. Well, the obvious counter to that with Volpe would be, it's year 3, and he's nowhere near what you thought he was going to be. BT and I had Cashman on last summer, and I brought that up to him saying, dude, I was wrong. I thought he was going to be a star. Cashman said, yeah, me too. And then he went on about why he hasn't developed and what he expects of him. Well, now year 3, he's gotten worse. I mean, at what point, Cash, you just going to ride this out to what? Till he's like Gleyber Torres? Till he hits free agency and let him walk? I mean, at some point, you're trying to win a World Series, you got to get a major league shortstop. And you have to develop these players the right way. What about Dominguez? You have alternatives for that. That was one of the big reasons why I said send Dominguez down earlier in the year, months ago. Send him down. Not because I think he's a bust, because I want to salvage him. I want to maximize what Dominguez should be. Get him some playing time in the minor leagues. Let him learn the outfield, whatever position it may be. Get him to hit from both sides of the plate. Send him down. And you had plenty of alternatives in the outfield. They didn't do that either. BT and Sal on the Fan. More of your calls when we come back. 888-808-1019.
New York sports is more than a game. It's a lifestyle. WFAN is the only place where Yankees, Mets, Giants, and Jets fans come together and sound off.
I like Soto. I mean, I like his attitude.
The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always streaming on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn apps.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
Tune in to the BT and Sal Show weekdays from 10 to 2 on The Fan, presented by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac is the official luxury vehicle of the New York Mets.
Some things are hard to commit to, like learning how to surf or saving for a family vacation. But one commitment that's easy, switching to Fios Home Internet with a 5-year price lock guarantee. That means 5 great summers of fast, reliable internet at the same low price. All with the Fios 1 gig internet plan. Plus no hidden fees or equipment charges. Call 1-833-VERIZON to switch today. Price guarantee applies to base monthly rate only for new and existing My Home customers.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
We've got more sports talk coming up on The Fan.
Lunch was great. Greenwich Village is a fun spot.
Can we stop at a bathroom?
Are you all right?
I keep having stomach issues after eating, like diarrhea, gas and bloating, abdominal pain, and sometimes oily stools.
Sound familiar? Those stomach issues may actually be a pancreas issue called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. Creon pancrelipase may help manage EPI. Creon is a prescription medicine used to treat people who can't digest food normally because their pancreas doesn't make enough enzymes.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall, if you are allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor and always with food. Do not chew capsules as this may cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon. Call 800-633-9110 or visit creoninfo.com to learn more. That's CREONinfo.com.
I'm asking my doctor about EPI and if Creon could help.
This is Sal Licata. You definitely don't want your AC system to fail this summer. So call my friends at Edison Heating and Cooling, New Jersey's air conditioning experts. Have them check your cooling system now. I know Edison Heating and Cooling. They are the real deal. Go to EdisonHVAC.com.
If you have back-to-school shopping to do, then you should make Macy's your first stop, because Macy's has back-to-school styles from brands like Nike and Jordan, must-have denim from Levi's and Good American, and now Macy's has Abercrombie Kids too. It's all in one place, all at great prices. And here's another reason to come in. If you're already at Macy's and you saved so much, you could stop by the fragrance counter and pick up something for yourself too. The best back-to-school styles are here now at Macy's.
Ready to score the biggest deal in breakfast? It's waiting for you at Dunkin'. Dunkin' is serving up the ultimate $5 meal deal. Get one premium hot or iced coffee and any two delicious wake-up wrap sandwiches for just $5. Whether you're fueling up for a big day or keeping it casual, this deal has you covered. A smooth, bold Dunkin' coffee paired with two warm, tasty wake-up wraps? Now that's what we call a big deal. Excludes espresso and cold brew beverages. Modifications may be an additional charge. Participation may vary. Limited time offer cannot be combined with offers. Exclusion and terms apply.
I'm New Jersey Attorney General Matt Platkin. Every year, too many lives are lost in alcohol or drug-related crashes. These are preventable tragedies, and it's time to take a stand. Let's make New Jersey's roads safer for everyone. We are all counting on you.
We're talking New York sports. WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1, New York, and Odyssey Sports Station.
WFAN Sports Flash.
Good afternoon at 12 o'clock. I'm Andrew Bogish. This Sports Flash is sponsored by Primo Brands, the official water sponsor of MLB, Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission, and by the New Jersey Division of Highway Traffic Safety. The Giants preseason begins Saturday with the Bills. Buffalo had a rough weekend. One of Josh Allen's favorite targets, Khalil Shakur, suffered a high ankle sprain Friday night, and then James Cook skipped practice for the first time over his desire for an extension yesterday. The running back kept answering its business when asked about the decision. GM Brandon Beane said more on WGR Radio today.
It's not something we were fully aware of until, shortly before practice. And so, I get it. I understand it's the world we're in, I guess, of how players want to respond and things like that.
Despite wanting that extension, Cook reported to camp on time and had practiced up until yesterday. It is still unclear exactly what changed. Despite falling to the 2/3 in the AL East, the Yankees still the second AL wildcard right now. 2 games clear of the Mariners, 2.5 better than the Rangers, whom they visit tonight. First pitch in Arlington at 8:05 here on the Fan with Max Fried on the mound. And the Mets start a 3-game visit from the Guardians, 7:10 on Odyssey Mets Radio. Sean Manaea back on the mound for them. Fan weather, it is 79 degrees and sunny in Central Park, and that's what's happening. Sports flashes top of every hour. I'm Andrew Bogish.
Talk New York sports here.
Friends at Town Fair Tire remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. We started the show a couple hours ago talking about the Yankees, and to me, it's more important to discuss their fundamental issues as opposed to the fact that they got swept by the Marlins. Fans are going to be outraged with the results of the weekend. It's much deeper than that. I think the results will change. We've seen that change throughout the course of the season. Some good, some bad, obviously some ugly, some great in there as well. Fried on the mound tonight, and this is an important series as far as the standings go. But I'm going to choose not to focus on the standings right now. There are 50 games to go. The Yankees have an easy schedule, but Fried on the mound tonight. And then this Tuesday in Texas, Aaron Judge will return to the lineup, or is at least expected to return. And things could look far different when we're with you here Wednesday at 10 a.m. or 12 p.m., whatever it is, when we're discussing the sports and the Yankees. So I'm not going to go nuts about getting swept by the Marlins or the fact that the Red Sox called them. Clearly, the Yankees are going the wrong way. But that can happen throughout the course of a long season, and I expect that to change. What I don't expect to change, or what I don't accept, is the lack of accountability in the Yankees organization. And things have gotten progressively worse since 2018. And now the calls are going to be coming in hot and heavy for Aaron Boone's job. And this has been the case over years. I told you in 2021, I would have made the decision to move on from both Brian Cashman and Aaron Boone. I just felt that it was time for a change within the Yankees organization. They win 90 games every year at least. They get into the postseason. Last year, they get to their first World Series since 2009. So I understand the counter arguments very well. But if I felt this way in 2021, and things have gotten worse since then, 2022, they started out great, but got embarrassed in the postseason, getting swept by the Astros. 2023, they missed the postseason. Last year, they make the trade for Soto. They get to the World Series. They obviously embarrass themselves in the World Series. They lose Soto, and they were supposed to be better, and they're not. There's no accountability. I don't like the direction. I don't like the type of players that they bring in, which are generally all or nothing, hit home runs or strikeout type of players. The Yankees, to me, and look, they could overcome it. They got to the World Series last year. I didn't love their team, even with Soto. They overcame a lot because of the all-time great combination of Soto and Judge. And this year, they don't have that. Could they still overcome it? Bellinger's been terrific. Judge comes back. They have the ace and Fried. Sure. They're loaded bullpen. Those guys, I know they were awful in their first outings with the Yanks, but they'll be better. Like, there's nowhere to go but up from there. How good? Who knows? But they'll be better. So it feels like it's at an all-time low right now, or at least a low for this year. Those things will get better. What won't get better is the lack of accountability, the stupid things that the Yankees do on the base paths. Like, Boone can point and say, and he did, other teams get thrown out on the base paths just as much as we do. But I can then say, well, how many of those teams had their player walking off of second base in a tight game late thinking that there were 3 outs when there were only 2? How many of those teams had players get doubled off of first base on a pop-up to second base? I mean, the Yankees are doing dumb things that I've never seen in 40 years of watching baseball, let alone with other teams. I mean, come on. And there's just that lack of acknowledging, even when Judge is in a little bit of a funk. It's almost like the Yankees are afraid. What are the players so fragile? They're made of glass. You can't acknowledge the reality. There is also a difference between ripping players the way that a Parcells type would, or an old school baseball manager would, Billy Martin, whatever, pick a guy, the way that those guys would, and being honest about what's going on. Every time you ask Aaron Boone something, it's like, nah, not a big deal. No, this guy's great. No, we're the best team. I still believe in these guys. They're great. And every time we watch them, they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. Year after year after year. But make no mistake, this is not an Aaron Boone problem. This is a Yankee culture problem. This is from the top down. If the Yankees fired Aaron Boone today, there would be no difference. I mean, literally today, there'd be a difference because Max Fried's on the mound. And maybe Judge is returning tomorrow. But I'm talking about big picture, long-term stuff. This is things, when you got guys that are doing the things the Yankees are doing and have been doing for years, that's something that should have been nipped in the bud years ago. Now it's too late. The Yankees are what they are. They brought in these players. They let the mistakes get out of control. They don't hold guys accountable. It could be the mistakes on the base paths. It could be the poor performance from the youngsters. Year 3 of Anthony Volpe. Where's the accountability? So if I'm Volpe, I'm thinking, I'm good to go. I'm the Yankee shortstop. They don't have any better chance to replace me. Cashman said it himself. He was on with Evan and Tiki. Said it himself. Cole just brought that up earlier. Right? I'm Volpe. And where am I going to go? I can hit 200. I can throw the ball in the dirt. I can boot the ball. I can make mental mistakes, physical mistakes. It's okay. They don't have anybody better than me. That's the general manager's own admission. So then how could Volpe feel like he really needs to turn it up? Or Jazz feel like, where's Jazz going? They talk about how much they love him, and he's great, and he's an all-star. We love the power, all that stuff. He could strike out as many times as he wants. He could get doubled off first as many times as he wants. Where's he going? They have no better option. He's not going anywhere. And that's the problem. Even if you bench Jazz at this point, what's that going to do? These things have to be taught at a younger age in the farm system, or at the very least, if it's in, if you do it with your farm system and it's established at the major league level, then when you do bring in guys, it's easier to say, hey, this is the way we do things here. There's accountability here. I don't care how much success you had in Miami or wherever else you're coming from, Colorado, whatever it may be. This is how we do things here. Like it or get lost. And that's not there. Now it's like, hey, you want to come join the party? Come on in. Yeah, this is how we do things here. Turn that music up. Hey, don't worry. If you boot a ball, we're going to love you more than anybody else. We're going to coddle you more than anybody else. You make a mistake on the base paths, I got your back. Booty's your guy. I'll stand up for you. It's okay. Don't worry about it. Come on in. We're the fun Yankees. Not to mention the reliance on the data and analytics and the robotic nature of things. So there's just a lot there that I can't fundamentally get behind and believe in and agree with. I also didn't believe in it last year, and they got to the World Series. So you could have your reasons why, whether it's the lack of opponents, whether it's Soto and Judge combination, whatever it may be. I didn't believe in it last year. And eventually it came home to roost once they got to the World Series, but they did get to the World Series. So they could say, hey, you may not like it, doesn't matter. We may not like what they do, but they could say it doesn't matter. We're still going to win 90 games, and they're probably going to win 90 games this year. 50 games to go. They already have 60 wins. And the schedule gets softer. And you would expect with Judge coming back and with the bullpen improvements that they made, eventually when those guys get some outs, it's only going to get better. I can't get behind it. I don't believe in it. Doesn't mean that they can't still go out there and have some success. But at some point, and if I would have made a change in 2021, and I'm on record saying that, I mean, at some point, if you want things to change, you actually have to make some changes. Frank is calling from Roseland, New Jersey. What's up, Frank?
What's up, Sal? How we doing?
Good, man. How are you?
Good. I was on hold on Friday with Evan and Tiki and the guys, and I couldn't get through. But I need you to settle a debate. And, you know, I have a friend that admittedly does not watch baseball. He'll bother me about things because he thinks he knows things and tries to get under my skin. But we're having a heated debate, and I had to just like leave the group chat because it was getting so absurd. So basically, he's trying to tell me that the managers in baseball do not matter one lick. He's telling me that managers in baseball can basically go on a sabbatical for 2-3 months. The same type of performance is going to happen. The Yankees are going to win or lose the same amount of games, or any team for that matter. And I'm trying to push back on him, but he's just being a blockhead. Like the fact that you don't think like A.J. Hinch went to the Tigers and they're immediately much better, or Bruce Bochy goes to the Rangers and they immediately win their first World Series. It's absolutely, at least in my opinion, I would, like I said, love for you to give your opinion on what you think. But he's telling me that managers in baseball don't matter.
Well,
everything is analytics.
Here's what I would say. Managers in baseball mean a lot less than they used to, Frank, and thank you for the call. But it doesn't mean that the right manager, if he's allowed to do what he believes in, whether it's Hinch, impact on the results of the team. Boone was brought in by design to be a player's manager, to nurture these guys in a way that they weren't nurtured before. The softer generation of players, instead of being tormented and yelled at and whatever, they want to be nurtured and apply the data and analytics. That's why he was hired. He's not alone. Other managers, same thing. I think the Mets struck a nice balance with Mendy so far, where he showed you last year he could go with his gut. I think this year he's been a little more reliant on the analytics than I would have liked. And even said that same thing, like down the stretch here, he's going to play a lot of matchups, lefty-righty stuff, Vientos, Beatty, whatever's going to be a lot of matchups. Okay, fair enough. I would like one of the things I loved about Mendy last year was the gut stuff. But also, aside from the data that needs to be applied from the higher-ups down on through the manager or through the dugout, the accountability factor, that is something that I think Boone, at least publicly, we have not seen it publicly. We've seen Boone hold the media accountable. We've seen Boone hold the umpires accountable. We have not seen Boone hold the players accountable publicly. Doesn't mean that behind closed doors he wasn't getting on Gleyber Torres or he's not getting on Jazz or whatever else it may be. But we have not seen that from Boone, where we have seen that with other organizations, specifically the Mets. And I reference the Mets not to compare them to the Yankees, but those are the teams that I watch every night. That's the team, those two teams are the teams that we care about here. I can't tell you exactly what's going on in St. Louis or San Francisco when I only see him, 6 times a year, whatever it may be. But there's an obvious lack of accountability with the Yankees organization. It's not all just on Boone. It's not Boone's decision to send Volpe down. That's on the organization as well. That's on Brian Cashman. And if Cashman's answer is, well, what are the alternatives? Volpe beats the alternatives. My answer to him would be find a better alternative because this isn't good enough. Let's listen to Brian Cashman. We found the cut. Cashman on with Evan and Tiki on Friday.
Not necessarily now, here in August, but had you given thought to sending him down to clear his head? Was that something you guys ever discussed?
No, because it's what's the alternative?
No, that was always my argument on the air, Brian. That's why I wouldn't do it. I was just curious if you thought about it.
But
now there is
a little bit of an alternative, right? No, if you thought about it, that means the only reason to think about it is if there was something there as an alternative, but it's never come into there has not been any opportunity for us to even consider that.
I mean, that's absurd. That's absurd. Then how about considering finding a freaking alternative? So you're just going to run the kid into the ground? Good God. You're ruining his development. It's year 3. How do you not have an answer for that? Oh, what's the alternative? Good God, that cannot be an answer. It's your job to find a better alternative. Find a solution or an alternative. And they're twofold, 2 problems. 1, it's hurting the Yankees now. 2, it's hurting his development. My goal would be to maximize Anthony Volpe's potential, which should in turn maximize the Yankees' ability to win. And if he weren't getting the job done, I'd say, okay, we need to figure out how to get him to be his best. I would personally send him down, while also figuring out who could play shortstop by finding an alternative. Holy cow. That's even worse than I thought when the caller said it. That's even worse than I thought. I mean, the defense rests. I can't even say it. I can't even. There's no defending that. I don't know how you think that that's okay. And again, I already know what the pushback is going to be. Cashman would say, yeah, well, we were in the World Series last year, and we win 90 games every year. I'd say, okay, fine, you're right. Whatever the reason is, that's fine. I mean, it's nice that you actually made the World Series for the first time since 2009. Also, the player who helped bring you there the most is not there. He left you. And you're worse. You're supposed to be better. You're supposed to build the club better, and you didn't. You're worse than they were a year ago. And it's year 3 with Volpe, not year 2, not year 1, year 3. And you're heading down the same path with Jason Dominguez in year 1. Same exact path as Volpe. Not going to send him down, even though you had a better alternative. Not going to send him down. Why get him any seasoning in the minor leagues? Why not just settle for him being a 250 hitter who's playing on skates for the most part in left field and can only hit from one side of the plate? You could settle for that. Why develop him into what he was supposed to be when you could just settle for that and at least get some production at the major league level? Good God, what's the alternative? Dude, you got to find one. That's your job. That's scary. Neil is calling from the Bronx. What's up, Neil?
Hey, what's up, Sal? Thanks for the call. And that call alone, the way he answered, that should just get him fired. That would have gotten anybody GM fired. But as far as problems with the Yankees, it goes around everywhere, from Boone to how, especially Cashman, who's been there for 27 years. 27 years. The Yankee standard used to be World Series or bust to now, as long as we get into the playoffs. With the extra wild card spot, it's much easier to get into the playoff now. Yeah. So getting into the playoffs is not that difficult.
And by the way, you could say, Neil, because I remember doing this when BT and I were first together. He was talking about he hopes the Yankees bleed out so changes were made. They didn't make the playoffs, and changes weren't made. So I'm not sure, why anybody thinks that changes would be made if let's say the Yankees miss the playoffs. You think they're really firing Cashman? And until they fire him or make a change from that philosophy that he has implemented since he's been here, certainly recent years, until that changes, nothing else really matters.
I mean, but check this out, Sal. Since the 2009 World Series, the Yankees, with Cashman on board, been on a 16-year drought before getting to the World Series, or let alone win another one.
Right. No,
win another one.
I know it. And Neil, I'm aware. And it's and thank you for the call. I hate even saying the words fire Cashman or fire Boone. I don't like that calling for people's jobs. The way I said it in 2021, I thought it was time for a change. I thought it was time for an organizational change at the top. Cashman was here a long time. They were regressing after 2017. I would have made the change. And we could keep referencing the consistent success, but no doubt the expanded postseason has helped that. And also the sustained success that the Yankees have had in the last decade is not equal to the prior 3 decades or whatever you want to say. However, whatever reference point you want to go back. It's just not the same. And it clearly is, I don't want to minimize their sustained success or the ability to win 90 games every year, but it's not the way that it used to be, where it seems a lot easier to do what the Yankees have done now than it was when they were doing it back then. Not just the expanded postseason, the watered down competition. You know, they're spending a lot. They're still not spending the most. They're aggressive, not as aggressive as others, where they used to win all those battles. Spend the most, be the most aggressive. They're not developing their prospects to the level that they need to. There are so many wrongs here that I don't believe anything's going to change until it's a different regime here with a different vision. Now, when you do that, you're taking a different type of risk. But I just feel like it's stale, and I don't believe they're going about things the right way. They continue to hold on to the prospects and hope that they're going to develop into the superstars that they say they're going to be. And we've now seen it turn over. This is at least the second time with a different iteration of the quote-unquote baby bombers. It's just not good enough. BT and Sal on the Fan. More of your calls when we come back. 888-808-1019.
The Yankees are heading to Texas to play the Rangers. 8 o'clock tonight.
Giddy up, baby. Giddy up. God, it's a home run.
Driven by Jeep.
That was an extraordinary play.
Susan Waldman and Dave Sims call all the play-by-play on the Fan. Woo! 101.9 FM and always live on the free Odyssey app.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
America's biggest indoor water park is just minutes from Manhattan at American Dream. DreamWorks Water Park has over 40 rides and slides, including the world's largest indoor wave pool and the steepest indoor drop slide, with tickets starting at $59. Book now at AmericanDream.com.
Luxury just got tripled with Mercedes-Benz of Edison, Mercedes-Benz of Union, and Ray Cattina of Freehold. 3 powerhouse locations in New Jersey. 1 legendary name, Ray Cattina. More inventory, featuring one of the East Coast's largest selections of new and pre-owned Mercedes-Benz vehicles. More convenience with 3 state-of-the-art service centers to keep your Mercedes-Benz running like new. And of course, legendary Ray Cattina customer service, where you always come first. Experience the power of 3 at benzfam.com.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textingterms.us. Texting enrolls you for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply, stop to opt out.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country. When you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on.
Connect with a local divorce attorney today. Text Joe22 to 32 32 32. 866-323-7529. 250 Paley, Saddlebrook. Diana Magala, licensed in New York and New Jersey. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois.
At Hanover Bank, we're more than just your bank. We're your neighbor. Our decisions are made locally by people who live and work right here in your community and who understand what matters most to you. And your deposits, they stay local, benefiting the businesses, homes, families, and futures that make our town towns thrive. We believe in true relationship banking, individual service, and commitment to community. Visit HanoverBank.com to learn more today. That's HanoverBank.com. Hanover Bank. Forward together.
We're always talking New York sports on The Fan.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy. In 2011, I founded Wesley Financial Group with one goal in mind, to help honest folks out of their timeshares permanently. Today, I run Wesley with my two sons, a real family business, treating every client and every employee like we'd want our own family treated. That philosophy has helped us grow into the largest, most trusted timeshare cancellation company in the United States. Fortune magazine even recognized us as one of the best places to work. Why? Because we genuinely care. In fact, some of our former clients were so moved by their experience working with us, they joined our team so they could help others to timeshare freedom. If you're stuck in a timeshare, give us a call. Let our family help your family.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit kit. 800-814-1500. That's 800-814-1500. 800-814-1500.
Water damage happens fast. So can the cleanup when you call on the restoration specialists at 1-800-SERVPRO to help make it like it never even happened. That's 1-800-SERVPRO.
Franchises are independently owned and operated.
Let's go!
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Before you begin your road trip, ask yourself, do you really need 5 full suitcases? With the new 2026 Kia Sportage X-Pro's class-leading cargo space, you'll have room for what you need. Find out more at your local Kia dealer today. Keep the adventure going. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-3334-KIA for details. Always drive safely and obey all traffic laws. Comparisons based on second row legroom and cargo space behind second row seats in the subcompact SUV class according to Kia segmentation as of June 2025.
Hey Yankees fans, come out to Yankee Stadium on Sunday, September 7th for a special celebration. It's C.C. Sabathia, Replica Hall of Fame Plaque Day, and the first 40,000 guests in attendance will receive a C.C. Sabathia Replica Hall of Fame plaque presented by WFAN. Tickets are going fast. Visit Yankees.com/tickets today. Welcome back Hall of Famer C.C. Sabathia on Sunday, September 7th. Buy tickets now at Yankees.com/tickets.
Get connected with WFAN to talk about your favorite teams. The Fan on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
BT and Sal back on the Fan. BT on vacation. The meat of the order for the Yankees last night, not very good. You want to go 2 through 4. You got Ben Rice 0 for 3. Bellinger 0 for 4. Stan did have a base hit, but he was 1 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. A lot of strikeouts. Even Jazz, who had a couple of hits, including a 2-run homer. That was a late, kind of meaningless 2-run homer anyway. So the meat of the order not getting the job done for the Yankees. But when you're looking for the meat of the order, you got to choose Boar's Head, committed to craft since 1905. We've always been a Boar's Head family. Love Boar's Head. So the meat of the order are right there. Unfortunately, it doesn't matter who or what part of the order for the Yankees. McMahon, new shiny toy, McMahon at third base, 0 for 4, 4 strikeouts. Like, that just can't happen. Wells, what the hell's happened to Austin Wells here? By the way, we talk about the accountability, and those are the biggest issues with the Yankees. Not only did the Yankees not hold Jazz accountable for his gaffe. I mean, I'm trying to be clean here. This is not a podcast. I'm on the radio, so there are rules we have to apply to. But Jazz getting doubled off of first base on a pop-up to second base. So obviously Boone had an issue with Jazz when he said, what the hell are you doing there? You could see it in the dugout a little bit. Didn't sit Jazz the next day, and Jazz goes out there and whatever, performs with a couple of base hits for him. But Jazz afterward said he'd do it again. He said he'd do it again. Now, I didn't see the quote. I didn't hear the quote. I was listening to the Mets broadcast yesterday, and Howie Rose referenced it. And he also said he didn't hear the quote, but he read the quote. So I got it like third hand. Howie read it, and I got it from Howie. The fact that Jazz can make that type of boneheaded mistake. I mean, there's not a world, I was going to say baseball world, but just not a world in what that is acceptable. Getting doubled off. Think about this. You could excuse somewhat forgetting how many outs there are. It happens. Now, it shouldn't happen to the level that it did with Wells, but at least, guys have done that before. Oh, shoot, forgot how many outs there were. Bad one, but we've seen it happen before. You could excuse guys getting thrown out at home. Third base coach making a bad decision, runner blowing through a sign, whatever it may be, being aggressive, not aggressive enough. Mistakes on the base paths, they happen. Getting doubled off of first on the sky-high pop-up to the second baseman, that's just that. I mean, that's not acceptable. That just can't happen. And to have the guy who committed that error say that he would do it again just shows you all you need to be seen. I mean, that's a lack of accountability at the highest degree. Now, is it a Boone issue? Is it a Yankee issue? Is it a societal issue? Because I do think it is deeper to a certain extent than just the Yankees. However, if we see the Mets hold players accountable, why can't the Yankees do it? Not only last year with the, Lopez or whatever throwing the glove to the stands, not only cutting Joey Wendell immediately, also sending Francisco Alvarez down. The Mets could have easily said, let's just pretend. I'm not going to get David Stearns on, but let's just pretend I'm talking to David Stearns, okay? Hey, David, Sal Licata here at the Fan. Why aren't you sending Francisco Alvarez down? I had high expectations for him, coming off a 20-plus home run year, number one prospect in baseball, supposed to be a stud. Just does not look right now like he's contributing anywhere near the way you need him to contribute. Why aren't you sending him down? Couldn't Stearns have said in that spot, well, Sal, what are the, I don't know how Stearns really talks, but, well, Sal, what are the alternatives? I'm not sure where Stearns is at in the, nerd factor response, whatever it may be. But Stearns, oh, Sal, what are the alternatives? We don't really have it. Would you want to see Hayden Sanger in there? What are the alternatives? I'd be like, well, you know what, David? I don't know, but that's on you to figure it out, isn't it? Alvarez isn't cutting it. But we didn't have to get there with Alvarez because Stearns said, I'm sending him down. Regardless of Sanger being a good alternative or not, who's clearly not an everyday big league catcher and borderline backup big league catcher like he's not. He's not on the roster. Instead of him using that as an excuse, he says, I need to do right by Alvarez to get him better, and as a byproduct, get us better. So I'm sending him down, and we'll live with the lesser alternative right now. Well, what are the better options? Whoa. I mean, that's a bad one. And then Jazz saying he would do it again? Like, if I'm Boone and you don't want to bench Jazz because of the gaffe on the bases, I'd bench him for what he said afterward. I go to him and be like, Jazz, what are you kidding me, man? Since you've come here, this is the way I would talk with Jazz if I'm Boone. Since you've come here, have we not treated you with the ultimate respect and tried to do right by you every single way? We know you've been a good soldier going out there playing third when we needed you, but is there something that we did wrong? And the response probably be like, no, Booney, you're the man. I love you. Then I'd be like, well, why, when you did something stupid like getting doubled off of first on a pop-up to second base, do you think it's okay to say that you do it again? Why do you think that that's okay? And I wasn't going to bench you because of the error, because those things happen, but I am going to bench you for what you said, because that's unacceptable. That's even worse than the actual crime, the cover-up. That's worse. You made the mistake. It's bad. Acknowledge that you made the mistake. Goodness gracious. Jeremy calling from Georgia. What's up, Jeremy?
Sal, you're absolutely right about the accountability part, man. They coddling these guys too much. Right now, George Steinbrenner's not turning on his grave. He's digging himself out. If he was still around, Cashman would have been gone a long time ago. Volpe would have either been traded or sent back down to the minors. They wasting their time trying to develop these guys in the major league level. You guys have been saying it the whole time. I'm all the way in Georgia. I had the sheriffs called on me twice because of these damn Yankees. I live in a small town. So you can hear everything. And I'm upstairs cursing like you don't like a New Yorker would. I pay a lot of money to watch the Yankees down here because we can't get them. I gotta get all these apps to watch them, and it's crazy. What happens when the cops show up? What do you tell them? disturbance. They're like, everything all right? I'm like, yeah, everything's fine. Why? What happened? They said, well, one of the neighbors called and said they heard you going off. I said, yeah, I'm the goddamn Yankees. and then they start laughing, and they're like, well, the Braves ain't doing too well either. I said, yeah, but at least the Braves hold accountability for their players.
Yeah.
And their manager's not a cream puff.
Yeah, and they've won a World Series this decade.
Are you kidding me? Like, the other day, Boone had runners batting up with a left-handed pitcher up. It was against the Marlins. He had runners on second. He lets Wells hit. Instead of pinch hitting him, moving Rice to catcher, pinch hitting him, let Goldschmidt get a crack at the left hand. I mean, he might have got a hit off the left hand. He's been getting hit off lefties. But he lets Wells hit, and then he flies out. The normal. Like last night I watched the Phillies in Detroit, and it felt like I was watching a major league game. But when I watched the Yankees, it's like I'm watching a AAA or even AA game.
It's infuriating.
They're coddling. They're coddling. Instead of giving them a nice buffet when they get in the afternoon or whatever, 3 hours, 4 hours before the game, you're not going to eat today. You're going to take some fills in practice because obviously you needed more than a meal.
The problem is, Jeremy, an excellent call. I love the passion. I love the intelligence there. We could tell you're a huge fan. Keep it coming. Get back to us. The problem is, and this is kind of what I was saying earlier, if you don't nip these things in the bud, you can't be taken seriously. I use my daughter as an example. If I keep saying, Sammy, don't do that. Don't drink that water in the pool, otherwise you're going to get out. And I don't get her out of the pool when she does it, she knows she's got me beat. And that's going to continue to happen through age 5, 6, 7, and so on. And I'm telling you now that I may give a little because she's 4, but as she gets older, I'm going to get harsher. No nonsense here. Because I know how important it is to do now. So in 10 years from now, I don't have this problem. Well, that's what Boone should have been doing since day one in 2018. And you got to do it with a delicate balance. I get it. Everybody's so sensitive. Players are so sensitive. God forbid these millionaires, you question them on something. God forbid you do that. I don't care. You've got to have some kind of backbone here, some kind of stability and accountability throughout the course of the organization with the way you operate, whether it's developing the younger guys, whether it's bringing guys from other organizations so they know when they get here how things are done. And this cannot be accepted. And the problem is, to your point, which I was going to say before, getting into my own daughter's analogy, if you don't do it now, if you didn't do it then, you can't do it when you need to later. Point is, Boone missed his chance. The Yankees missed their chance to hold these guys accountable. Now, if you were to hold somebody accountable, they'd be like, come on, man, that's not really you. Like if Booney loves these players and coddles them, how's he all of a sudden going to turn and start benching guys? How's that going to work? That's not the way that he's operated for 8 years. So now if you do that, you know that it's not being authentic. And once you start, once you stop being authentic, you're toast. Hopefully, and I mean this sincerely, hopefully for Boone and the Yankees' sake, their talent can overcome some of the fundamental flaws. It's possible. I hope it's the case. Starting tonight with Fried, getting Judge back, and they go out there and win some ball games and win a division, and everybody could breathe a little bit. Now, I don't even know if they missed the postseason. I'm not so sure that they would fire Boone, and if they did, it'd be wrong. I'll tell you this. If the Yankees miss the postseason and they fire Aaron Boone but keep Brian Cashman, I'll be screaming like bloody murder when that happens because it's not Boone's fault. This is an organizational thing. Either they both go or you got to keep them both and ride it out and believe in them. More of your calls when we come back. 888-808-1019 is the number to call. Taking a Cadillac, much more than taking a drive. It elevates every journey. It's the smooth excitement of an all-electric Lyriq, the exhilarating thrill of pushing the limits in a Cadillac Optic, the liberating freedom in the expansive XT6, or the confidence that commands attention in an Escalade or Escalade IQ. Discover which Cadillac is right for you and elevate every journey. I did it last year, loved it during the course of the summer, driving around in the all-electric Lyriq. Visit your Tri-State Cadillac dealer. BT and Sal on the Fan, presented by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Mets.
It's Evan and Tiki. Afternoons on the Fan 101.9 FM.
So the Yankees were able to not trade top-end prospects, at least ones that aren't ranked very high, because you never know what the next few years are going to look like. And they were able to bring in 6 different players. 5 of the 6 are here next week.
Listen to Evan and Tiki on demand on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is Maggie Gray with an Odyssey Sports Minute sponsored by WeatherGuard Truck and Van Equipment. They're just as driven as the hard-working pros they serve. Luka Doncic just put pen to paper. 3 years, $165 million, and took the keys to the Lakers. It was an unlikely pairing with LeBron from the jump. Now it's working, but how long do they really have together? One's 26, the other's pushing 41. Title windows don't stay open forever, and the clock is ticking on this one. I'm Maggie Gray.
For more than half a century, contractors and trade professionals have relied on WeatherGuard for heavy-duty truck and van storage equipment, not just to protect their tools, but to protect their professional reputations. Whether it's inside or outside of work vehicles, a WeatherGuard badge means pros can trust that their hard-earned name is in good hands. Since 1968 and every day since, WeatherGuard has been protecting anything it takes to build a professional reputation. WeatherGuard, established in 1968, proven every day. WeatherGuard.com.
Hey, hello. Listen to my voice talking to you about the new Old Spice NFL collection at Walmart. Now listen to my smell. I smell like NFL stars Jared Goff, CeeDee Lamb, Saquon Barkley, CJ Stroud, and George Kittle. I smell like greatness. Why? Because I'm wearing Old Spice's new NFL collection. How can you put the greatness of the NFL into a smell, you ask? You can't. But Old Spice can. And they did. Smell like Suntal and Speed, Driftwood and Drive, Sea Tides and Toughness with the Old Spice NFL collection available at Walmart. Smell like the greatest smell in the NFL with Old Spice.
Lunch was great. Greenwich Village is a fun spot.
Can we stop at a bathroom?
Are you all right?
I keep having stomach issues after eating, like diarrhea, gas and bloating, abdominal pain, and sometimes oily stools.
Sound familiar? Those stomach issues may actually be a pancreas issue called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. Creon pancrelipase may help manage EPI. Creon is a prescription medicine used to treat people who can't digest food normally because their pancreas doesn't make enough enzymes.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall, if you are allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor and always with food. Do not chew capsules as this may cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon. Call 800-633-9110 or visit creoninfo.com to learn more. That's CREONinfo.com.
I'm asking my doctor about EPI and if Creon could help.
Come visit the engagement experts at London Jewelers at any one of their 6 locations.
Recovering from an addiction is an individual accomplishment. A young mother who chose recovery to care for her family. A high school athlete overcoming opioid addiction. A couple celebrating his recovery. Everyone's recovery is different, and there's no shame in asking for help. Call 844-REACH-NJ. Trained counselors are available 24/7 to help you find the recovery option that's best for you. Tell us your story, and let's begin your recovery today.
When it comes to getting the guaranteed lowest price on Falcon tires, there's only one place to go, Town Fair Tire. And when it comes to getting more free services for life than anywhere else on Falcon tires, there's only one place to go, Town Fair Tire. So when you're in the market for the best deal on Falcon tires, get to Town Fair, because nobody beats a Town Fair tire deal. And I mean absolutely nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Hey everyone, Boomer here. I had a tomahawk steak last night that was absolutely cooked to perfection. Now, you already know how it was done. With the Chef IQ Sense, the wireless thermometer that eliminates under or overcooking your chicken, fish, or meat, whether you're cooking on a stovetop, oven, or grill. It is built to withstand extreme heat, and the app alerts you when to take the steaks off the grill and even when to flip them. Order the newly released 3rd generation Chef IQ Sense right now at chefiq.com, and make sure to put the code word Boomer in for 15% off.
Talk New York sports on the Fan.
When you travel well, your KLM Royal Dutch Airlines ticket takes you to more than just your destination. It takes you to winding streets, spontaneous detours, and the realization that neither of you is actually good with directions.
Recalculating route.
And when the final shortcut taken isn't exactly short.
Welcome aboard KLM Royal.
Our crew is here to give you a trip home that goes just as planned. KLM Royal Dutch Airlines. When you travel, travel well.
Ready to score the biggest deal in breakfast? It's waiting for you at Dunkin'. Dunkin' is serving up the ultimate $5 meal deal. Get one premium hot or iced coffee and any 2 delicious wake-up wrap sandwiches for just $5. Whether you're fueling up for a big day or keeping it casual, this deal has you covered. A smooth, bold Dunkin' coffee paired with 2 warm, tasty wake-up wraps? Now that's what we call a big deal. Excludes espresso and cold brew beverages. Modifications may be an additional charge. Participation may vary. Limited time offer cannot be combined with offers. Exclusion and terms apply.
The U.S. Open Tennis Championships kick off with Fan Week. Week 1 of the 3-week tennis spectacular, and admission is completely free. Catch the world's best tennis players up close as they prepare for the championships. The grounds will be buzzing all week long with live DJ sets, special guests, giveaways, and more. U.S. Open Fan Week, August 18th through August 23rd. Be part of the action. Visit usopen.org/fanweek for more info.
Get the scuttlebutt on your favorite team, the Fan, on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
BT and Sal back on the Fan on this Monday afternoon, 888-808-119. BT on vacation. We'll be here with you all week. We have some stuff planned for you. Hopefully throughout the course of the week it gets executed. You can plan some stuff. You actually have to execute it out there. So stay tuned with us here on the Midday Show. We plan on having some fun. Get back to the phones in just a second. Hoff and I had some fun over the course of the weekend. Actually, even before I met up with Hoff. Hoff and I went to SummerSlam night 1. I spent the day at the American Dream with my wife. See, this is a perfect day. My wife and our friends, I guess, but really my wife met a friend on Long Island. We lived on Long Island with the kids, whatever, going to school. And then we become friendly. The couples thing that everybody wants to do. My wife couldn't wait to meet somebody, and then I have to partake in this stuff. But we actually do enjoy this couple, and we haven't seen them because we moved to Jersey, which, by the way, is a whole nother issue. I got something for you that stinks worse than both the Mets and the Yankees coming up later on the show. I can't wait to tell this story. Anyway, we met up with this couple that we haven't seen in a while at American Dream, did Nickelodeon. It was incredible. The thing, though, and I love American Dream. If you haven't been, Hoff, have you been to American Dream at all?
I've been there a few times, yeah.
It's must
with the family.
Like, they have everything.
Yeah.
Everything. It's not just for young kids or adults. You think of something, they have it. It is a great place. I love it. It's only 30 minutes from me, so I love American Dream. And we did Nickelodeon, and we were worried that maybe it was going to be crowded because of the SummerSlam crowd. It was not. But I will tell you, when we walked in, my wife's like, what the hell? You had people dressed up, people carrying belts. They even were playing, the Real American Hulk Hogan song multiple times throughout the course of the day at American Dream. So you certainly got the feel. I guess there were meet and greets going on there. But then from there, my wife went home, sent her and the kid home, and I walked over to meet Hoff at MetLife Stadium for SummerSlam Night 1, and we had a blast, dude. Wasn't that great, that first night, SummerSlam?
I don't remember having such an amazing time going to an event. Like, I love going to UFC events, and they're long and they're cool, but this was outrageous.
They put on such a great show, and people were like, who would recognize you or me, and Hoff was getting recognized quite a bit. I think from the Rico, which we got to change that. You got to be getting recognized from this show. But people were coming up saying, Sal, I didn't know you were Mark. Meaning like a big wrestling fan. I'm like, well, I'm kind of not really. And it's like, yeah, it's okay to admit it. No, but what I will say is whether you're into it or not, it is a tremendous show. And I did love the ending because I don't like CM Punk or Gunther. Gunther, that, sloppy kind of just, I don't know. He doesn't really look like a wrestler. It's like he's straight out of the 50s, Gunther.
It's very old school. It's like he didn't really have many different attacks. Yeah. All he did was slap CM Punk around a little bit.
Yeah, and that did look vicious, though. You could tell those slaps looked like they hurt. Anyway, I love the fact that Rollins, I thought he was legit hurt. I mean, it shows you. I wasn't really paying attention to it, but I thought he was really hurt. And he came out and stole the show. It was great. But either way, WWE does a great job. We watched, I know we were texting back and forth about last time. We couldn't go both nights. As much as I would have loved to have been there for the Cena Rhodes thing, we couldn't go both nights. But it was a fun night out at SummerSlam.
By the way, Evan was a little, and he's not in today, so I'm not spoiling his story just yet. He had a little run-in with this chair situation because we got lucky enough. We were very close to the stage, and because of that, we get to take home the chairs.
Right. What happened with him? He couldn't get it.
Somebody helped him out, and to like break them open. And remember when I was like, no, we'll just wait for someone to come and snip them?
I told you that.
Yeah.
Yeah, people were coming, like, one dude was like, hey, you want me to help you with that? I was like, no, I'm not doing anything illegal. I want the cop or security guard to come over and cut it.
Well, Evan let the guy come and help him, and after they were done ripping all the chairs off, he took one of the chairs with him. So he took one of Evan's chairs. The guy was like, Evan, let me help you. So he started like taking the chairs all apart, and after he was done, he took one of his chairs. So he had one less to go home with.
That's rough.
And he has 2 kids.
Anything stick out to you? Yeah, right. So Evan, yeah.
Uh-oh.
That's a rough one. Anything stick out to you from the night? Like for me, remember we saw Drewski? That was my favorite part of the night. I don't know who Drewski is, but he's wearing a Phillies jersey. Drewski's some comedian wearing a Phillies jersey, and I had to get on him a little bit. You're in New York. I got to protect our home state here, and certainly the Mets.
Yeah, but the best part is that before that you go and there was someone behind us who was heckling everybody. Roman Reigns, you suck.
Yeah.
Cardi B, you suck. And then Sal's like, who are these people coming to an event that they're coming to WWE and heckling these people? And next thing you know, he's like, yo, Drewski, Philly sucks.
Yeah, but that is, you're right. That is, well, I was telling you, I didn't understand like the fan. I get it, you want to go to a game and boo somebody, whatever. You're at a wrestling event and you're ripping on everybody that steps in the ring. Like, it wasn't like he was a CM Punk fan and rooting for Gunther. It was like, you guys suck. This man ripping everything. So that's what I was telling you. I didn't rip Drewski. I ripped what he was wearing. He's wearing a Ryan Howard jersey.
Yeah, but he's
I didn't say Drewski sucked. I said, hey, Drewski, Philly suck. And by the way, he did turn around.
He did acknowledge
Gave
it.
him a little let's go Mets.
I wanted to yell something at Cardi B, but I felt like it wasn't the time and the place to do that. But Cardi B was like about 8 rows in front of us.
The outside of the finish with Rollins, which was, by the way, not only just a great finish there, it was one of my favorite finishes. I love that. That was a great storyline. I was shocked. That was one of the great finishes ever for me as a wrestling fan, in and out over the years, certainly after like 1992. But also getting to see Nick Hogan, who was not too far from where we were sitting, and they had the tribute to Hulk. It wasn't as elaborate as the Monday Night Raw or SmackDown one, but they did a little tribute in stadium, in arena there that I'm sure they showed on TV as well. And then pan to Nick Hogan, seeing him right there was, that was touching.
There was a lot of big name people. Again, our boy Fat Joe was there. I'm surprised that all the heels didn't win their fights and stuff like that, because I know Fat Joe usually brings an aura with him where everyone that you don't want to win, they usually win.
I didn't yell at him. Fat Joe the Jinx. If you had to pick which night you think was better, I know we were there night 1, but we watched night 2. Which one do you think was better?
I got to be honest, and it's not because we were there, but Saturday was so much better because I honestly, everyone.
Jelly Roll.
Jelly Roll was great.
Yeah, that was fun.
What's his name? Who's the legend killer?
Randy Orton.
Randy Orton was badass. Logan Paul. Like, my kid was happy for 2 people.
Dude.
He wanted to see 2 people, Jey Uso and Logan Paul. He got to see everything. He's like, that's the prime guy, right? I'm like, it is.
That was really my favorite part. You get to take your son, and he was just having a blast. He spent like, a couple $100 on merch?
Yeah, I told my wife that. She's like, what?
I thought the tickets were free. You spent a couple $100 on merch.
And by the way, I do have the video of it, and I'm going to show Gallo because you're talking about it. The best part was the Seth Rollins thing was so big to you and me, but his jaw dropped.
He was
because he was so happy that CM Punk. It was perfect timing too. It's when he lifted his belt for the first time, and then the lights went, the fireworks went, and Seth Rollins pops out, and his jaw just dropped. That he was like, "What the hell's going on here?"
That was great, but that was a fun weekend at MetLife, no doubt about it. And American Dream. Dylan calling from Los Angeles, California. What's on your mind today, Dylan?
Oh, what's up, Sal the legend? Just got to talk about this Giants video. It was amazing. We got to find Dan and Warwick, bro. Put the call out.
I'm not the only one who said something. Everybody's trying to find Dan and Warwick. And for those of you who are like, what the hell are you guys talking about? Dan and Warwick 10 years ago called Francesa, famously said, Mike, do you think the Giants, New York Giants and the San Francisco Giants ever get together when they're in town? It's been it's been referenced, made fun of for 10 years. And today the Giants social media account posted a brilliant video with, they set something up where you have Eli Manning, Sean O'Hara in the same room with Logan Webb of the San Francisco Giants and Matt Chapman of the Giants, and Francesa walks in on him. It was just great. You got to check it out on the New York Giants social media accounts. It was great.
It's such an innocent question that I think like everybody, at least subconsciously, kind of thinks. And, there was some connection back in the day, and Mike just like tore into him so like Mike does, and I think it's just connected with somebody with everybody in a great way, and it's so fun and satisfaction for everybody.
Dylan, I would first of all, yes, I agree with that part. Satisfactory, everybody's enjoying it, and thank you for the call. I thought the call was a prank, I still believe that it is. I thought it was one of the dumbest things that I've ever heard. I'm sure Mike said the same thing and felt the same thing at the time. There is no logic behind, do you think the San Francisco Giants and New York Giants ever meet up? So I'm going to disagree with you and say that there was no legitimacy to the call. And obviously this is a setup thing that happened with the New York Giants, I'm sure expediting this to make this happen with getting the San Francisco Giants to take part in it. I mean, it was brilliantly done. It's gone viral. It's probably at 1 million views already, and they only posted it a couple hours ago, maybe not even. But no, the call was absurd, and I guarantee a put on. But I would love to talk to Dan in Warwick and get his thoughts on it. Nobody could find him. I saw Neil Best trying to tweet about trying to get Dan in Warwick. Somebody else, Hoff said Harrison Francesa reached out to him knowing about Dan in Warwick. He might not have been a regular caller, hence the prank call to get a reaction out of Mike, which he got. It was perfect. And years later, now we could have this viral moment online. Chris is in Roxbury, New York. What's up, Chris?
Hey, Sal, I totally agree with you what you said about Chisholm, that he should definitely have been benched. And if not after that play, certainly after he said he'd do it again. I don't understand that. But let me ask you a question. You said that you would have gotten rid of Boone in 2021, correct?
Cashman and Boone. It wasn't.
Okay.
It didn't pertain specifically to Boone. It was more about I felt they needed a change from the top on down. I'm not going to keep the manager and fire the general manager. That wouldn't make any sense. So I would have had a clean sweep.
All right, but has Boone changed at all since 2021? Do you think he's a better manager today than he was in 2021?
That is a great question. I think we need to see improvement from Boone, even the X's and O's stuff. We saw it in the World Series last year. No, I think he's the same guy, but that's the guy that they wanted. So
right,
the way I would
still want him.
Yes, I do. That's why I'm trying to say this is not a Boone problem. Aaron Boone, you could love it, you could hate it, Chris. He's doing exactly what the organization wants him to do. That's why I'm saying this is not an Aaron Boone problem. If they fired Boone today, they're going to hire somebody that's a lesser version of Boone. Like Cashman, I'm surprised his response to that would have been, hey, Brian, Sal Licata here. Any thoughts about, moving on from Aaron Boone? Or what are the alternatives? Don't have any better alternatives. I mean, that would be his answer. Aaron Boone is exactly what they want. They wanted a manager who was going to apply the data that the front office gives them and who's going to be a player's manager. He's a fiery competitor. He's a baseball lifer. I want to see Boone apply more of his gut, and I want to see him let that fire out. I know he's got it in him. I know he does. He's shown us that he does. I'd like to see it directed more so at his players, but they don't want him to do that, and that's why the players love him. And I think now it's too late. He is what he is as a manager. But if you make a change from him and keep everything else intact, what do you think is going to change? Nothing. Nothing's going to change. It's going to be the same thing over and over again. 888-808-1019. One more hour to play with here. We'll take more of your calls when we come back. BT and Sal on the Fan.
Baseball heartbreak, football glory. WFAN covers every win, loss, and headline from the Yankees, Mets, Jets, and Giants. The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always streaming on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn apps.
Stepping into the Kia K4 or K5 isn't just getting behind the wheel of any average sedan. It's stepping into what's next. With a K4, it's stepping into a world that's exciting. With a K5, it's one that's bold. The Kia K4 and K5, the next movement for sedans. See your local Kia dealer or visit kia.com to learn more.
Kia, movement that inspires. Call 800-333-4KIA for details. Always drive safely.
What's that sound? That's the sound of Downy Unstoppable scent beads going into your washing machine and giving your clothes freshness that lasts all day long. There it is again. It's like music to your ears, or more like music to your nose. That freshness is irresistible. Let's get a Downy Unstoppables bottle shake. And now a sniff solo. Nice. With Downy Unstoppables, you just toss, wash, wow, for all-day freshness.
In a world parched for excitement, one drink will emerge. Twisted Tea, the refreshing thrill ride of flavor. recreating its classic role as the hard iced tea that goes down smooth. Twisted Tea doesn't just taste like real iced tea, it's made with real brewed tea and a 5% kick of alcohol. Taste the adventure with Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Keep it twisted.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
Tune in for the Yankees' first pitch presented by Montefiore Einstein, the official hospital of the New York Yankees.
Sal Licata here, and wow, are we thrilled with the incredible job CertaPro Painters did on our house. So clean, so efficient, they actually listened to us and even satisfied my wife, which, as you know, isn't easy. If you've been putting off painting because of the economy or tariff worries, don't. Painting your house is the easiest and most efficient way to protect and raise your home's value. Do what we did. Call CertaPro Painters today.
Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
The Fun in the Sun event is on at Nielsen Dodge. Get a great deal on the new Jeep, Chrysler, Dodge, or Ram you really want. With 0 down payment available, plus the credit help you need. At Nielsen, fun is in the driver's seat. Shop online at nielsendodge.com. Make this the summer event.
Wellness isn't just what you do. It's what you absorb, hydrate, and fuel with. At Terra Origin, we combine ancient Ayurvedic wisdom with modern science to support your whole body from the inside out. Gut health for balance, healthy hydration for performance, healthy greens for clean energy and recovery. Because when your body's in sync, everything else flows. Find your formula today at TerraOrigin.com and use code RADIO to save 25% off your first order. Terra Origin, rooted in tradition, built for now.
Ready to elevate your everyday? Quince has the luxe staples insiders swear by, minus the markup. From 100% European linen styles and 14-karat gold jewelry to gorgeous leather bags and elevated home finds, Quince has it all. And by partnering directly with top artisans and ethical factories, Quince delivers premium quality at half the cost of similar brands. Discover everyday luxury without the markup at Quince. Go to quince.com/style upgrade for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/style upgrade.
You're not at your house. You're at a lavish seaside estate. You're not walking the dog. You're hunting for clues in an Agatha Christie mystery. See it differently with BritBox. Stream an endlessly entertaining collection of British TV, including new original series, Ludwig, starring David Mitchell.
Bit awkward, really. I think I might just have solved a murder.
And Outrageous, a scandalous true story.
Seems there's a political extremist in every family these days.
See it differently when you stream the best of British TV with BritBox.
Book your next United flight from the NYC area's most on-time airport this summer, Newark. Copyright 2025 United Airlines Inc. All rights reserved. A14 on-time performance data from DOT reporting carriers for arrivals and departures from mass flight for June 2nd to July 14th, 2025.
Get the latest on the Giants and Jets on WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1, New York, and Odyssey Sports Station.
WFAN Sports Flash.
Good afternoon at 1:02. I'm Andrew Bogish. Your Sports Flash is sponsored by Primo Brands, the official water sponsor of MLB. Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission. And by United Airlines. The Yankees and Mets have combined 1-5 since their GMs brought in those deadline pieces. Maybe a change of scenery works for at least one of them. The Yanks now in Arlington for 3 with the Rangers. Texas is just 2.5 games behind the Bombers in the wildcard standings. 2 veteran lefties on the mound tonight, Max Fried and Patrick Corbin. First pitch is 8:05, so pregame 7:20. plenty here on the Fan. The Mets now have the Guardians in Queens for 3. Cleveland sold some pieces at the deadline and lost closer Emmanuel Clase to that gambling investigation, but they're hanging in that wild card chase. Sean Manaea throws tonight's first pitch at 7:10 on Odyssey Mets Radio. And the Giants are reportedly signing 27-year-old running back Jonathan Ward after a morning workout. Ward played 2 offensive snaps for the Steelers last year. Cam Scatterbo and Rashawn Baker dealing with minor injuries at camp right now. Fan Weather is sponsored by Robert Half. At Robert Half, they found that 67% of companies want to increase contract talent. That's why their recruiters' expertise and award-winning AI work quickly to find the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, they know talent. Visit roberthalf.com/talents today. It's 84 degrees, clear skies in Central Park, and that's what's happening. Sports Flashes, top of every hour. I'm Andrew Bogut.
Catch all the play-by-play with Susan Waltman and Dave Sims. The home of Yankees radio. The Fan on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
BT and Sal back on the Fan. BT on vacation all week. The BT and Sal show on the Fan is presented by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Let me clear my throat there. Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac is the official luxury vehicle of the New York Mets. And we've been talking a lot about the Yankees. We'll continue to talk about the Yankees. 888-808-1019, the number to call. But about those Mets, I was just talking a little bit about this with Bogus during the break there. And I mentioned this earlier. In case you missed anything, check it out on the free Odyssey app. The Mets have a couple issues here, and they've been losing a lot of games. And obviously that can't happen now. 50-something games to go. They're neck and neck with the Phillies, a half game behind them. Those two have been going back and forth. One's in first place one day, one's in first place the next day. They'll have 7 head-to-head meetings, 1 series coming up in August, 1 in September. So those will be intriguing here. But the Mets have a couple issues themselves. Starting pitching being one of them. To me, runners in scoring position, another issue. Or even just the lack of consistency from the offense. That is a problem that has to get resolved. The good thing is that all they need to do is get hot in October, and then the offense can carry them. As for the pitching, Montas can't continue to take starts. I'm not sure how long David Stearns is going to stick with him, and maybe this comes into the accountability part of the equation here. Stearns made that signing. Is he going to stick with it and ride it through to try to be proven right eventually, or is he going to say, you know what, not working, let's cut bait, or whatever they got to do with him, and bring up one of the young arms? For me, the Mets, to get through this regular season into the playoffs and to have the ultimate success in the postseason, I believe they're going to have to go into the minor leagues and use at least one of those top arms. I don't know whether it's McLean, Sproat, Tong, whatever. One of those. I don't think Tyler McGill, who I guess threw yesterday out at Citi Field, 20 pitches or something like that, Carlos Mendoza said in the pregame press conference there. I forget exactly what it was, 10, 20 pitches, something like that. But I wouldn't trust Tyler McGill to come back either. Could he be better than Montas? Maybe, but those guys aren't seeing the mound in the postseason. And I would not have Montas on the postseason roster. I would not have Tyler McGill on the postseason roster. But they have to figure out what these young guys can do at the big league level. And we've seen this happen plenty of times before where these younger pitchers have come up and made the push for the postseason and then on through the postseason. Stearns has done that in Milwaukee. And I believe he's been getting these guys ready all year to have them ready and able to contribute at some point if needed down the stretch. And we're getting to now the down the stretch part of it. It can't just be, well, we'll roll Montas out one more time. Maybe they do. I wouldn't, especially when you factor in the lack of depth that they're getting from the other starters outside of David Peterson. Clay Holmes has been bad, and he's not giving you any depth. Manaea and Senga continue to work their way back in. Well, at some point, those guys are going to have to give you 6-7 innings, at least 5-6 innings. 6-7, I mean, geez, beggars can't be choosers. Can't be 3-4 innings. It's got to be 5-6 innings, maybe 7. So Peterson can't be the only one. They need that from Manaea. They're going to need that from Kodai Senga. And then obviously they need some stability at the back end of that rotation with Montas and Clay Holmes. And until they clean that up, it's going to be a little bit of a slog. But look, really no blood drawn. I mean, they lost 2 out of 3. All right, they got swept by the Padres. It happened. So they've lost 5 of 6. Not good, but they're just a half game back at the Phillies. You could forget anything that's happened prior to today if you're the Mets. They're in such a prime spot that you forget everything that's happened prior to today. Start fresh and just hope that, well, not even hope, because it's got to be beyond hope. put moves into play or whatever it may be. Take some action here about how you're going to line things up from today on so you don't have these slip-ups in the rotation or the inconsistencies in the lineup here. But we're getting down to it. Those are the issues with the Mets. Yankees obviously have many issues. Getting Judge back tomorrow should help. Having Max Fried on the mound tonight should help. Look, Yanks got to win a series. I wasn't getting caught up in the results of getting swept by the Marlins, but they have to this series against Texas, because now with Texas being the team that's chasing the Yankees, if they were to lose a series now to Texas, in particular one that begins with Max Fried on the mound and one that they should be getting Aaron Judge back tomorrow, if they lose a series to Texas, then I think it's fair to start to say, Sal, it's not just about the organizational issues. Now they could be in real trouble this year, which then could potentially lead to some change in those organizational issues. Again, I don't know. We've been down this road before. We've kind of given up the fight because just nothing has changed with the Yankees team. Remember, they missed the postseason in 2023. Nothing happened. So why would I think anything's going to happen this year? And they went to the World Series last year. So if anything, they've built up more of a resume with getting to the World Series, maybe some more equity. I can't imagine the Yankees missing the playoffs and then doing the same thing again with Cashman and Boone and expecting a different result. They might do that. That's probably the favorite right now. I just can't imagine that. But when you look in the American League with the standings, they got caught by the Red Sox, and the Rangers are right there 2 games back of the final wild card spot. Yanks, I guess it would be 2.5 games back. 3 in the loss column. They're ahead of Texas here. So not that they could get caught. Well, I guess they could get caught by Texas if they get swept. But you want to win this series and at least start to, slow things down a little bit, keep Texas at bay, and then at least their playoff positioning would not be in danger. Robert is calling from Canarsie. What's up, Robert?
Hey, Sal. First, I have to commend you on your excellent parenting philosophy. That's just amazing. I really commend you on that. A lot more people have to take that philosophy.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I appreciate that, Robert. We're in the early phases here. She's in year 4 of her life. I'm year 4 of being a parent. I can only do what my parents did to me, so I'm trying to apply that the best way. But wish me luck.
Exactly. Year 4 is the best. That's the way to start. That's where to start. Listen, accountability, player-to-player accountability, where's that? You've got the judge. He's the captain. So where is he? Good old-fashioned kangaroo court's got to be in session.
Yeah, I don't even know if kangaroo court is good enough for this. That's usually more of a fun thing. This has gotten to a point where it's serious, and also obviously Judge has been injured here for the last 10 days or so. Close to that. This call will be recorded. Oh, there we go. I think we're done there, Robert. But thank you for the conversation. We appreciate you checking in. It's hard to do that stuff when you're not there, but obviously this predates Judge's injury, and to me, it's not on him. He can be the captain, and he can take the team and hold them accountable. Maybe he has. I'm not sure what the inner workings there, whether it's Boone, whether it's Judge, whether it's others trying to hold these guys accountable, but the same mistakes continue to happen. Something is clearly broken when the same mistakes continue to happen. And then you listen to what they say and they show you that they don't get it. Whether it's Boone saying that, well, everybody else does it too. Sammy, don't do that. Well, she did it too. Well, I don't care what she did. I'm talking about you. You're my kid, and you're not doing that. That's like 101. But she did it too, but they did it too. Aaron, your team has been sloppy on the base, but they did it too. Look at the Pirates and the Rockies. They did it too. We're not the worst. They did it. Other teams get thrown out on the bases, which is bad enough in itself, not to mention that other teams probably didn't have a guy walk off second base with 2 outs thinking that there were 3 in a tight game late, or get a guy picked off or doubled off a first with a pop up to second base. The other part is even Jazz. One called out for it. You made a mistake.
Would you do it differently next time? Now knowing we know?
No.
That's from that. That's a quote. That's the exact one. Again, I didn't hear it. Remember, I heard Howie reference it. So Meredith after the game, one more time, Dove. Meredith.
Would you do it differently next time? Now knowing we know?
No.
I mean, what's left to be said?
Easily. Because if he would have dropped it, I was already... The reason I got out is because I took the step that way first, and then I went back. Because I was playing the drop. So it would have bounced too high, and by the time it came down, I would have got there, so it would have been fine.
What? What? Guys, You don't need me to even say anything. What? Like in all my life, playing baseball, watching baseball, consuming baseball, any which way possible, I was playing the drop. It would have bounced too high from the... You're playing the drop in the big leagues that a second baseman is going to drop the pop-up. That makes no sense whatsoever. I would have done it again. He said, yeah, I wouldn't have changed anything, and I would have easily done that again. I don't know where to begin with that. Here's what I would do. I don't know what Boone would do. Here's what I would do. I would sit Jazz down and explain to him why that was the dumbest bleeping thing that I've ever heard in my entire life from a baseball player at any level, let alone the big leagues, and let alone for the New York Yankees. Due to that stupidity and ignorance and lack of acknowledgement that you made a boneheaded mistake and you said you'd do it again and tried to explain why, I'm going to have to sit you out for a while. Because I can't have a player that A, does that, and B, says that, play for me. I'm sorry. I like you. You're a nice kid. You've got some potential. That isn't going to fly here. That's what I would have done. And instead, Boone says, Jazz, what are we doing? Then he looks the other way like he does all the time, puts him back in the lineup, and away we go. To me, his mistake was awful. His answer afterward was... that is just... Dove, I actually need to hear it again. One more time. So just to reiterate, this is Meredith asking Jazz after he got doubled off of first base in the big leagues on a pop-up to the second baseman, trying to explain his error.
Easily. Because if he would have dropped it, I was already... The reason I got out is because I took the step that way first, and then I went back. Because I was playing the drop. So it would have bounced too high. And by the time it came down, I would have got there, so it would have been fine.
Jeez, I mean, it would have bounced. What the hell are you talking about? You're not making any sense. That is the worst explanation I've ever heard in my life. In any sport, in anything.
Well, to be fair, the question he was asked was, would he have made it to second base had it dropped? That's what he was answering.
But he said he would do it again with no issue.
That's a separate issue.
Oh.
Correct.
All right, well, thank you for clarifying. It's still the dumbest thing that I've ever heard in my entire life. The answer should have been, no, I wouldn't do it again. I made a mistake. And whether I would have made it to second is irrelevant because it can't be caught in that spot doing that. It's the big leagues. I can't even talk about it anymore. So instead, let's welcome in the man of the hour. Dan is in Warwick. Dan, how are you?
Hey, what's up, Evan? I don't have long to talk, though. I'm leaving Vermont.
Well, it's actually Sal. So, Huff, did you let him know who he's on with? Now, Dan, have you called the station since you did 10 years ago with that call with the Giants and Jets? Giants and Giants?
I talked with you a couple times.
So that call was a prank, was it not?
Of course it was. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I'm just making sure because I had people calling saying they weren't. Have you seen the social media attention today?
No, I haven't. I'm not on social media much.
Dude, you got to check it out. Yeah, you have to have somebody at least send you an email. The Giants, you know why we're calling you today, right?
Nope.
The Giants posted a video of Francesa walking into a room with Eli Manning and Sean O'Hara of the New York Football Giants having lunch with Matt Chapman and Logan Webb of the San Francisco Giants, all based on your call 10 years ago.
Yeah, I heard that was a pretty famous call. I saw the old cartoon where I had a bottle of bleach and computers in the background.
I'm not sure where we're going with that, but this is what you get when you talk to Dan in Warwick. So, Dan, you still listen to the station? You still call the station on occasion? I don't recall the last time you called.
Oh, we've talked a couple times.
I don't recall. And people have been trying to get in touch with you. Have you not gotten in touch? I saw Neil Best asking for you. I heard Harrison Francesa. I'm assuming that they wanted you to be a part of this. You haven't heard any of this. You're just living in Warwick there, doing your own thing.
Yeah, still living in Warwick. I heard through the grapevine that you guys were looking for me by my cousin.
There we go. You want us to replay your famous call, or you don't want to hear that? What do you do?
I don't think I have long, Evan. I'm just leaving now, but go ahead.
Thank you for the time, Dan. We'll you go. Hoff, he's on hold. You could talk to him. No, we'll play it without him. You got to let him know who he's on with, number one. It's not Evan. It's Sal. And that would make sense because he's saying he's called. He has not called. I have not heard from him, so he probably called Evan before. Maybe you could tell him to call back and talk to Evan at 2, but I don't need him twice not knowing who he's on with. I really don't care to talk to Dan from work, and clearly he doesn't seem interested at all. What I do want to hear is the original call. Though, if you have this queued up, for those of you who are just joining us here, there's a big deal about it. We referenced it a little bit. Dan and Warwick, the man of the hour, Francesa, walking in on the Giants and Giants having lunch. The Giants had fun with this on social media. Not sure this plays well on radio, but here you go. The old original call, which was a classic prank from Dan and Warwick to Francesa years ago.
Is there ever any interaction when the San Francisco Giants come to New York or vice versa?
The San Francisco Giants come to New York and do what?
Have a game.
They play against the Mets, and what do you want to happen now?
Do the New York Giants ever reach out to them, either the players or the franchises?
The football Giants?
Yeah, the football Giants.
Well, what is the connection between the San Francisco Giants and the football Giants?
Well, they used to be in New York, and they got the same name.
But they have nothing to do with each other, though. There's no connection. They have different ownership. There's no connection between the two teams. I mean, there's no connection in any way between the two teams. They have no relationship. Do you think because they're Giants, they're like brothers or something? That might be the weirdest question I got in a long time. I mean, that might, and I think that's an honest question. That might be the strangest question I got in a really long time. Yeah, as a matter of fact, they have the Giant Picnic. They hold it over in Totowa, I think it is. And then they have the Giant Relay Race and the Giant Raffle. And then they all get together for the Giant Breakfast the next morning, and then they go their separate ways. It is true. It's a July weekend every year when it happens. Yeah, and then the Rangers in Texas and the New York Rangers have the same thing. They meet usually in Abilene and have that in August every year. Lundqvist is particularly close to Yu Darvish. As a matter of fact, there's a kinship there between the two of them.
That is freaking fantastic. Mike handled that perfectly. So there you go. And if there needed to be any clarification on if the call was a prank or not, obviously you got it from Dan himself there, who couldn't seem less interested in his social media fame, his newfound viral fame, or even talking with us for a few seconds here. So, and I respect that. Good for Dan. He had his prank 10 years ago. He did the job, and then that's that. He did what he had to do. One of the more famous calls, if not now, probably the most famous prank call to the fan. And he doesn't care. God bless him. He doesn't care about it. Evan, no, I'm good to go. I got to get, we're inconveniencing him. Sorry, Dan. Did not mean to inconvenience you on this day. But we do appreciate your time. BT and Sal, the fan, 888-808-1019, the number to call. Maybe Dan on his way to having a couple of Surfsides. I might be after this show. Surfside iced tea and vodka, made with real premium stateside vodka, real brewed tea. All the flavors are good. You hear me talking about Surfside all the time. I hope by now you've tried it, and if you haven't, you have to check it out. It's delicious. If you have tried it, you can barely tell there's any alcohol in it. So good, dangerous. You could drink it all day long. All the flavors are great. There's only 100 calories and just 2 grams of sugar, and there's no carbonation. Goes down so smooth. Great for golfing, by the beach, by the pool. Drink it at a sports bar or nightclub or a baseball game. Yankee Stadium, Citi Field, go get yourself a Surfside. Look for the can with the sunset stripe, sunshine in a can, Surfside iced tea and vodka.
The Yankees are heading to Texas to play the Rangers. 8 o'clock tonight.
Giddy up, baby. Giddy up. God, it's a home run.
Driven by Jeep.
That was an extraordinary play.
Susan Waldman and Dave Sims call all the play-by-play on the Fan. Woo! 101.9 FM and always live on the free Odyssey app.
I'm Michael Jenkins, helping you beat the books for the BetMGM Network. We're taking the Brewers on the money line in Atlanta against the Braves. It'll be Quinn Priester for the Brewers taking on Eric Fetty for the Braves. Priester's in the midst of a sensational year, allowing 2 runs or less in 10 of his last 12 starts, and the Brewers have won their last 11 with Priester on the mound. All of that and a palatable price price, and you get the Brewers on the money line against the Braves. I'm Michael Jenkins from the BetMGM Network. Bet smarter and beat the books, and download the BetMGM app today. Please gamble responsibly.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit information kit. 800-761-0000. That's 800-761-0000.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group.
Today, we're constantly taking photos and videos to remember our favorite moments. But what about those captured before the smartphone? What about the memories tucked away on aging VHS tapes, film reels, or in fading photos?
These cherished memories are fading away with time, vulnerable to threats like heat, moisture, and mold. But fear not, there's a solution to safeguard your legacy. Hi, I'm Adam.
And I'm Nick. Together we founded Legacy Box over a decade ago with one mission, to bring your memories into the 21st century.
It's time to bid farewell to old tapes you can't watch and faded photos. Legacy Box transforms them into digital treasures, ready to share with a click.
Just like magic, your shoebox of memories is now safely stored in the cloud or on a thumb drive.
Over 1 million families have trusted Legacy Box, so you can rest assured your priceless moments are in good hands.
Don't let your childhood fade away on old tapes. It's time to digitize those priceless moments.
Fast forward into the digital age. Visit legacybox.com/value and unlock 50% off your order. That's legacybox.com/value.
Some things are hard to commit to, like learning how to surf or saving for a family vacation. But one commitment that's easy, switching to Fios Home Internet with a 5-year price lock guarantee. That means 5 great summers of fast, reliable internet at the same low price. All with the Fios 1 gig internet plan. Plus no hidden fees or equipment charges. Call 1-833-VERIZON to switch today. Price guarantee applies to base monthly rate only for new and existing My Home customers.
Many tire dealers will sell you Falcon tires, but Town Fair Tire doesn't just sell Falcon tires, they sell them at the guaranteed lowest price. Plus, they give you free services for the life of your Falcon tires. That's an unbeatable deal only Town Fair Tire can offer, because Town Fair Tire is New England's largest name brand discount tire dealer. Nobody beats a Town Fair Tire deal, and I mean nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
We've got more sports talk coming up on The Fan.
Accident victims, this is John D'Agostino from D'Agostino & Associates, the injury firm. What do you think matters most when you have to hire the right lawyer? Experience? Well, I've been doing this for 35 years, and I've handled tens of thousands of cases and recovered hundreds of millions of dollars for people just like you. To me, what matters most is that I actually care. I'm going to make sure you have a say in what happens with your case. You, me, and our entire team of over 50 trained professionals are going to fight together to get you every dollar you deserve. Because for me, it's personal. Your pain has a price, and we're going to make sure the insurance company pays. We have offices throughout New York and New Jersey, and we'll come to you 24/7. So give me a call today at 888-24-LAW-24. That's 888-24-LAW-24, and ask for me, John D'Agostino. I've been there, and I'll be there for you. D'Agostino, Law, Bite Back.
The Rico Brogna podcast is proudly sponsored by Takara Fuji Apple Chew High, the sparkling cocktail that blends shochu spirits with delicious flavors of fruits from Japan. Whether it's Citi Field or your favorite spot, raise the apple.
What's that sound? That's the sound of Downy Unstoppable scent beads going into your washing machine and giving your clothes freshness that lasts all day long. There it is again. It's like music to your ears, or more like music to your nose. That freshness is irresistible. Let's get a Downy Unstoppables bottle shake. And now a sniff solo. Nice. With Downy Unstoppables, you just toss, wash, wow, for all-day freshness.
Hot damn! Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea just got harder with Twisted Tea Extreme. The hard iced tea taste you know and love, but with an 8% kick of alcohol. Twisted Tea Extreme is made with real fruit tea, goes down smooth, and brings your daytime drinking to the next level. Just look for the bright yellow cans in the cooler and get ready to dial up the fun. Big flavor, extreme kick. Twisted Tea Extreme. Keep it twisted! Visit Dealer Company.
Cincinnati, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
Hey, Yankees fans, arrive early at Yankee Stadium on Saturday, August 9th for our Old Timers Day, commemorating the 25th anniversary of the 2000 Yankees winning the Subway Series, presented by Fresh Direct. See Yankees legends put on the pinstripes again and take the field at Yankee Stadium. Relive memories of your favorite former Yankees and make new memories with your family. Get your Saturday, August 9th Old Timers Day tickets commemorating the 25th anniversary of the 2000 Yankees, presented by Fresh Direct at yankees.com/tickets today.
Talk New York sports here. The Fan.
BT on vacation. I'd like to burn down the last tape here of Dan and Warwick when he called before. Huff, what the hell was that about? Everybody wants to hear from Dan and Warwick. Here we are. We talked about it before. He comes on the air. He doesn't know who he's on with. He couldn't seem less interested in talking about this. I'm not even sure he was aware of what is going on this viral, his viral call. Well, what happened?
So he called me just now, like when I put him through.
Yeah.
He called in because he said that he was getting texts from his friends being like, Sal was looking
it's
for you.
It's his moment.
Yes.
It's not just me. Like, obviously, it happened on the Fan. I happen to be on the Fan while the Giants released it. So, yeah, I'm going to say, where's Dan and Warwick? He made the famous call 10 years ago to Francesa. The video's gone viral with the Giants. It's a huge thing. People are talking about it. People want to hear from the guy who made the call. And so I mentioned that, and now you're saying he called in.
He called in, yeah.
Right, because everybody else is telling him, but he has no interest.
He has no interest because as I was talking to him off air after we let him go.
Yeah, after I was like, well, he's giving me nothing. I mean, the guy comes up with a brilliant prank call that's famous now in fan history. I have him on the show. He's like, I don't want to do this. Hey, by the way, I got to go. Like, you take it up my time. Oh, all right. Well, I mean, you gotta give me something.
That's what he told me too. He goes, dude, like this is a bad time for me right now. I'm like, you called us?
Bad time? It's your time. This is the time. That's it. There is no time better than right now.
Well,
you're the man of the hour, Dan and Warwick. This is it.
Well,
it's a bad time.
Yeah. He's like doing some like white wall or something like that. I don't know, but he was in Vermont. He wasn't listening at the moment, so he just was he had no idea what was going on. And he doesn't have social media, so he has no idea. Now, on the other hand, I think of it going, he was so bad on the air just right now. Maybe, just maybe. 10 years ago, he called with the most serious question anybody's ever asked on the air.
You think he would? Well, I asked him flat out. I knew that it was a prank, or at least assumed. And then I asked him. He said, yeah, of course. What'd you think? So at least that was honest. Was he pranking us now, do you think?
No, I think it's the opposite. I think that he just probably got... And that might be like a dark memory of his. He probably got ripped on for years by his friends, family, people that, he doesn't even know. Dan and Warwick. Oh, it's Dan. He's the idiot that asked about the Giants going on a picnic together.
Yeah.
He might think that's a dark place.
So now trying to pretend that it was, in fact, a prank? Come on. Dove, when you heard it real time, what'd you think it was?
We have some great callers.
Yes.
We have some really weird callers.
Right.
There was no way I could know for sure if that was a prank.
What'd you think?
I thought it was a prank.
Okay. Huff?
Now I'm thinking it wasn't a prank.
Come on, man.
Dude, after talking to him, how disinterested he was in this whole thing.
I will say that's a fair point. That I thought 100%, 1,000%. No, there's not even another side to it. It was a prank. Although, after talking to him for the 30 seconds that I did, now I have no idea. Now it might have been legit. You're right. Even though he said it was a prank, and I want to believe that it was a prank, I have no idea what to believe from Dan and Warwick, who wants no part of his newfound fame.
And he hasn't even, we go behind the scenes here.
Yeah.
I could see how often he's called.
Yeah, he said he's called recently. He has not.
He hasn't called in a while. He's honestly, he's only been on air like 10 times for over 10 years.
Right.
He's been on air like 10 times.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, it's not like he's some household famous caller that calls regularly. He's just one that struck the right note when he called that time.
Must have been a slow day.
And it was also Mike's response that made it great, where Mike goes on, oh, yes, by the way, as a matter of fact, they have a picnic every year. It takes place in July. Like, that was brilliant. When the Rangers thing, it was Mike's response and the way that he handled it that made that call what it was. Whereas, somebody else, I could just be like, I'm not in the mood for it and hang up and move on. Or Mike could have done that back in the day. But Dan, just like, he's moved on. He had his moment in the sun back then and moved on from it, even though it's gone viral now.
He sounded very busy on the other line. That's all I can tell you.
All right, fair enough. like, I didn't know what was going on. I'm in the middle of ripping Boone, ripping Jazz. We're playing cuts. You're telling me Dan and Warwick's on the line. I'm assuming he knows who he's talking to, and I'm assuming he knows why he's on. And he didn't.
Okay, so mental note for future.
Yeah.
Whenever something breaks or we want to break something on social media, we have to let the people know in advance that we're going to be able to break it on their schedule so that they have time to come on.
No, here's a mental note for the future. When somebody calls, let them know who they're going on with and why. Dan and Warwick, all right, here you go, buddy. Like, we're both like, I'm like, what's up, Dan? He's like, I don't know, you called me. What's up? No, you called me, I think. Like, I don't know what's going on here. Hi, it's Sal. He called me Evan twice. Good God. And I had to explain to him what was going on instead of getting some info. Like, he didn't laugh once. You would think the guy that pranked and got that out of Mike and made this viral, you would think he'd laugh at the whole thing. He didn't even see it. He hasn't even seen it.
He'll call it back when he sees it. He'll call another host after he sees it and wants to get some more limelight.
Well, I'm assuming Evan, right? That was the one he kept referencing.
I think Evan's off today.
Well, whatever. Maybe not today. Maybe because he seems like he was pretty busy in Vermont. Either way, 888-808-1019. Good luck, Neil Best, contacting Dan and Warwick. And good luck with doing. Good luck getting something out of him. Antonio's calling from Manhattan. What's up, Antonio?
Yeah, the guy was real, man. Something's up with that guy. I'm telling you. He wasn't joking. I heard the call. That was a funny call. And I don't recall that call from Francesa, but that was he. I mean, he's Mike is smart.
Yeah,
so,
of course.
He basically reacted right there.
Yeah, that was brilliant.
Pretty good.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm calling because look, this is my thing with the Mets. Last year, for example, when they were kind of like not doing well, I knew at some point, they will make a run. Like this year, like I don't feel it. I think the Phillies, like it's hard for me to really admit this, but I think they're a better team. They have better starting pitching, and I think what David Stearns he needed to address. I think the pitching as far as starting pitching, and he didn't do it. I know I saw your show about Kelly that he did. I think Arabino he said he doesn't like New York.
Yes.
Look, I think he would have been a perfect fit for as a fourth
right,
starter,
but Antonio,
maybe,
if you didn't want New York, what are you supposed to do? Whether it's the Mets,
you tell him, look, I don't care if you don't like New York. You're going to pitch, and that's it.
No,
I
know.
don't care what your feelings are.
Yeah, it sounds great, but remember, you want a pitcher who's going to come here and want to perform. And if he doesn't like New York and doesn't like getting traded to New York,
look. As far as a lot of players, I could tell you that they don't like New York. That's why a lot of them who come here perform because they hate New York. So to me, that's kind of like. That not something new.
If I found out,
I think, also
go ahead.
One thing that wasn't mentioned. Where's the Jose Iglesias of 2025? I don't like. I see the lineup. Look, they don't hit in the clutch. I don't feel it this year. Sorry, man.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
Man.
You're allowed to. Thank you, Antonio. We appreciate you checking in. You're okay. It's okay not to feel it. I've been going back and forth with this, off the air in my own mind over the last couple of days, thinking. I'll just tell you in real time what I was thinking in my mind. A part of me was going to say, I don't believe the Mets have it this year because I don't believe in their core ultimately to get the job done. And the one thing that outweighed that in my mind, well, there's multiple things, but the biggest thing that outweighed that in my mind was that I think Soto is great enough to eliminate any kind of deficiencies elsewhere once he goes full throttle in the postseason. If Juan Soto does what Juan Soto has done historically in the postseason, it won't matter as much if Nimmo and Alonso and some of the others falter in the postseason. Soto is that player that can carry a team through a postseason. Obviously, no individual can do it by themselves, but as far as the offense goes, he'll have opportunities. If Soto cashes them in, the Mets will go to another stratosphere. So I'm not going to say that they can't win because I don't believe in that core that has failed before. And not to mention they have a bullpen that should be lights out in the postseason, or at least the potential to be one of the best, if not the best bullpens in the sport come postseason time. Those are very, very strong starting points. They will, however, need a starting pitcher from the minors because they don't have one at the big league level, in addition to Peterson, Minaya, and Senga. Peterson's got to continue doing what he's doing. Manaea's got to get back to being what he was a year ago. Senga's got to be at the top of his game. In addition to that, they need one of the guys from the minors to take that fourth spot because I don't think Clay Holmes is going to be good enough to do it, especially as you push him forward another 2 months. And I certainly don't think Frankie Montas is going to be good enough to be on the postseason roster. So I'm not giving up hope. I mean, is it likely that the Mets win the World Series? They haven't won one in 40 years. So why is it likely that they're going to win one now? But I think they have as good a chance as anybody else. Probably favor the Padres. I'm still not going to favor the Phillies, although anything could happen. I saw the Mets beat them last year when the Phillies were better on paper, and in reality, the Mets trounced them. Now, maybe it's opposite this year. Maybe the Phillies find their footing in the postseason. They added the closer. They got the star power in the rotation in the lineup. They're as scary as anybody. But I'd still take my chances with the Mets. Kyle is calling from Hoboken. What's up, Kyle?
Hey, Sal. So my thought is the accountability thing, right? People talk about you need to hold it. Aaron Boone needs to hold the players accountable. My question is, how can you hold the players accountable if you can't even set the lineup? Like, how do you hold Jazz accountable if it's a situation where, a caller called earlier is talking about how managers, whether they matter, they don't matter. I'm on the side. I don't really think they matter all that much. If your analytics department is setting the lineup every single day, if they're telling you what pitchers to pitch in what spot, like, what point do we just say, hey, this is a Cashman thing because it's not Booney setting the lineup. It's Cashman setting the lineup. It's Cashman saying which pitchers go in at what time. So, like, how much falls on Boone versus how much falls on Cashman? Because are managers really relevant these days?
I don't think to the degree that they used to be, Kyle. I think it's an excellent point. And just as you're talking there and I'm listening, I'm thinking through my own mind, how many years have we, all of us, me, you, how many years have we watched baseball, whether you're a Yankee fan, Met fan, other, whatever, doesn't matter, and have been able to identify the point where the manager has been a clear problem? Like, quite often. It's happened for many, many years. You get to a point where it's like, they got the players, they need a new manager. And to me, it's not like that anymore. Certainly not like that with the Yankees. I have not once looked at the Yankees since 2018, or even prior to 2018, and thought that the manager was the problem. My issue, I questioned bringing in Stanton. I questioned firing Girardi. But my issue with the Yankees began after the 2020 postseason because I kept seeing the same thing. They mash people. They're bullies offensively in the regular season, and then that's not there in the playoffs. It's the same thing. They're building the team, the same thing. And then in 2021, it got worse because then that bully offense wasn't even there in the regular season anymore. That's why that would have been the time for me to change, not the manager, but the whole structure of the organization. Now, from then on, it has gotten worse as far as the structure of the ball club, the foundation of the ball club. Still haven't had the ultimate success in the postseason. Soto-Judge combo alleviated some of the problems last year. Fundamentally, it's worse than it's been in, quite some time. I can't remember a Yankees team that was this bad fundamentally, especially for a team that is this good, meaning their record and where they're standing. The Yankees have had teams that missed the postseason, and they've been bad overall. But even with that, it's usually because Judge misses half the year, whatever it may be, injuries ravaged. This is just different. I feel like it's progressively gotten worse, and I don't think it's where you could sit here and say, well, Boone is at fault. He was never the culprit to me, not even in 2021 and not now. Because I don't believe that this is just the manager problem. It's an organizational thing. That's how I view it. Whereas years ago, you might be able to say, you know what? This team did the right thing. They're putting the right players out there. The manager's just not getting the most out of his players. I think this is a development thing and an accountability thing, not the manager not getting the most out of his players. 888-808-1019, BT and Sal on the Fan. We'll finish up with your calls. And the one thing that happened to me this weekend that stunk more than both the Mets and the Yankees.
It's Boomer and Gio, mornings on the Fan, 101.9 FM.
This was as exciting as it gets, and to be a witness to two general managers that were pushing their chips into the middle of the table was awesome. You didn't feel like either one of them gave up the things that you were worried about them giving up.
Listen to Boomer and Gio on demand. WFAN on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is Andrew Perloff with an Odyssey Sports Minute. All NFL holdouts aren't built the same. Micah Parsons and the Cowboys are in a war of words, and Parsons made an official trade request. Meanwhile, Commanders receiver Terry McLaurin has taken a bit of a different approach. He also made a trade request, but he was seen giving a bro hug to the owner at camp this weekend. For McLaurin, it's clearly just business, which should give Commanders fans solace, even as they wait for a deal for their great receiver to get done. I'm Andrew Perloff.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
DQ presents the sound of happy. Hear that? That's the DQ chicken strip basket. Only $7.49 for a limited time. We're talking 4 100% white meat seasoned chicken strips served with fries, Texas toast, and DQ signature country gravy. Yeah, you heard that right. For crunch time and no time, it can only be the DQ chicken strip basket. Just $7.49 for a limited time. Get it delivered in the DQ app. Happy tastes good at participating locations.
Whenever water damage strikes your home or business, call on the cleanup and restoration specialists at 1-800-SERVPRO to help make it like it never even happened. That's 1-800-SERVPRO.
Franchises are independently owned and operated.
The Fun in the Sun event is on at Nielsen Dodge. Your new Jeep, Chrysler, Dodge, or Ram is here with 0 down payment, 0% financing available, and the credit help you deserve. Now that's fun.
Lease a new 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee Altitude X 4x4, just $359 a month. Or lease a new 2025 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab 4x4, just $399 a month. Or choose from hundreds of quality certified pre-owned vehicles.
You can get up to $1,500 over book value for any trade.
On Route 10 in East Hanover. Online at NielsenDodge.com. A proud member of the Nielsen Auto Group.
So, for super hot deals and fun savings, remember,
fun is in the driver's seat. Make this the summer event.
With approval term Jeep 24 Ram 42 months due at sign, Jeep 4654 Ram 4989 and tax tag 498 doc and DMV fees.
Run or walk with Giants legends. The Giants Foundation will host a 5K race and kids run presented by Quest on Sunday, October 26th at 9 a.m. at MetLife Stadium. Net proceeds will benefit the Giants Foundation. All participants will receive a commemorative t-shirt, and after the race, stay for a post-race festival with appearances by Giants legends and a live DJ. Register now at Giants.com/5K. The Giants Foundation is a 501c3 nonprofit corporation.
We're always talking New York sports on The Fan.
Lunch was great. Greenwich Village is a fun spot.
Can we stop at a bathroom?
Are you all right?
I keep having stomach issues after eating, like diarrhea, gas and bloating, abdominal pain, and sometimes oily stools.
Sound familiar? Those stomach issues may actually be a pancreas issue called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. Creon pancrelipase may help manage EPI. Creon is a prescription medicine used to treat people who can't digest food normally because their pancreas doesn't make enough enzymes.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall, if you are allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor and always with food. Do not chew capsules as this may cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon. Call 800-633-9110 or visit creoninfo.com to learn more. That's CREONinfo.com.
I'm asking my doctor about EPI and if Creon could help.
Oh, no.
Ah, that's the sound of someone who's misplaced
My debit card.
their debit card.
Where'd I leave that thing?
Not at the gas pump, or the checkout counter, or the roof of your car. Now, if he has the Chase mobile app, he can use Card Lock.
Wait, I could just lock my card.
Yep, just a few tippy taps on his phone, and that sound, that's peace of mind from Chase.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. member FDIC.
Presenting a Gain Flings love story. Dear love of my life, we were on the 12B bus this morning when I caught a whiff. A scent so fresh, so life-changing, I had to find its source. Alas, I didn't know if you were the woman in the pink freshly washed cardigan or the retired mailman next to me. But I knew one of you was my soulmate. Ah, the scent of Gain Flings. Try Gain Flings with OxyBoost and Febreze.
Before you begin your road trip, ask yourself, do you really need 5 full suitcases? With the new 2026 Kia Sportage X-Pro's class-leading cargo space, you'll have room for what you need. Find out more at your local Kia dealer today. Keep the adventure going. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-3334-KIA for details. Always drive safely and obey all traffic laws. Comparisons based on second row legroom and cargo space behind second row seats in the subcompact SUV class according to Kia segmentation as of June 2025.
Call of the day with Brendan Tierney and Sal Licata on The Fan.
Jeremy calling from Georgia. What's up, Jeremy?
Right now, George Steinbrenner is not turning on his grave. He's digging himself out. If he was still around, Cashman would have been gone a long time ago. Volpe would have either been traded or sent back down to the minors. They're wasting their time trying to develop these guys in the major league level. You guys have been saying it the whole time. I'm all the way in Georgia. I had the sheriffs called on me twice because of these damn Yankees. I live in a small town. So you can hear everything. And I'm upstairs cursing like a New Yorker would. You know, I pay a lot of money to watch the Yankees down here because we can't get them. I gotta get all these apps to watch them, and it's crazy.
What happens when the cops show up? What do you tell them?
They think it's a domestic disturbance. They're like, everything all right? I'm like, yeah, everything's fine. Why? What happened? They said, well, one of the neighbors called and said they heard you going off. I said, yeah, I'm the goddamn Yankees. and then they start laughing, and they're like, well, the Braves ain't doing too well either. I said, yeah, but at least the Braves hold accountability for their players.
Yeah.
And their manager's not a cream puff.
Yeah, and they've won a World Series this decade. All right, there you have a call today. He was great. Fun talking with everybody. In case you missed anything, check it out on the free Odyssey app. We also had Dan from Warwick calling us. Sonny is in Malvern, who wants to talk about Dan from Warwick, who had that famous prank call 10 years ago that has become viral today. What's up, Sonny?
Hey, Sal, hear me out here. Dan obviously is a little off, right? You could tell by that 30 to 1 minute conversation you had with them. Mike used to get so many prank calls back in the day. What if Dan, that call was not a prank? Pranksters are pranksters. They'll keep pranking. That guy never pranked again. He called 10 times in a 10-year period and never pranked again. I think you.
Well, I think we lost you there, Sonny. But yes, I think you might be onto something here. I was just of the belief that it was a prank call, and thank you for the call, Sonny. You got to get us back from a better line, obviously. I was of the belief that it was 100% a prank call. But after finding out a little bit more from Dan at Warwick today, what he called, and having the track record of Hoff knowing his calls and all that, I think the evidence points to it was a legit call. I think the evidence is there. He doesn't call often. You could take from the evidence that maybe he was embarrassed with the way that Mike mocked him and the way that he was mocked years after. The evidence would be that maybe it was a real call, because if he were a prankster, he would be basking in his glory. This is every prankster's dream. Are you kidding me? The New York Giants actually did a video that got Mike Francesa together at the same table with Logan Webb and Matt Chapman of the San Francisco Giants, and Eli Manning and Sean O'Hara of the New York Giants together based off of this guy's prank call 10 years ago. That is any caller's prank. That is any caller's dream, especially a prank call like that. You'd be basking in your glory. You had the greatest prank call of all time. And instead, he didn't want to be bothered, didn't know anything about it, has no social media. Couldn't even enjoy the fact that he pranked Mike after the fact because he's not on social media, even back then, 10 years ago. The evidence leads me to believe that call was legit. Which makes it, I mean, I don't know if it makes it funnier or I don't know what to believe. I think it makes it worse. Clem is in Rockland. What's up, Clem?
Hey, Sal, great show, man. Awesome job always. Without BT, man, you definitely hold the fort down. Just very lightheaded. I went to the blood center this morning. I missed a lot, like the first hour of the show. Donated about 500 milliliters of Surfside, man. It was crazy.
Yeah, well, God bless you. We appreciate should I be commending that? We appreciate the donation, Clem. Good job.
No doubt. It's a shortage of blood, so people should be definitely donating.
Understood.
I drank so many Surfsides in LBI this week, and I got to figure the recipient.
That's you, Clem. Did you get your? Did he give you the package yet? No, it did not get sent. You were going to be getting something. We talked to Clem from Surfside. They are going to be sending you something there, but I guess we have not had that happen yet.
Yeah, no worries. Listen, I was down in LBI and drank about 40, 50 Surfsides this weekend. That's what I'm saying. God bless my kidneys, man. All hail my kidneys that they can clean out all this stuff. I donate blood today, and the recipient's not going to get drunk, man. But anyway, my take on Dan from Warwick is that he became a Jehovah Witness and just totally cleaned up his whole persona, life, everything, because he seemed so non-receptive to, if something, hey, this is blowing up on social media, everybody gets so excited, and it's the hugest thing. But he just seemed like he didn't care at all. My take is he's born again Christian or Jehovah Witness. So more important is, are the Yankees going to drain the swamp in the Bronx if they don't make the playoffs? Are they going to get rid of Boone? Are they going to get rid of Cashman, Susan, Dave?
Well, Susan's not going anywhere, Clement. Thank you for the call. I think those Surfsides still sticking with you. Susan, what are you kidding me? She's the one thing that should stay in place forever. I hesitate to give you an opinion on that because based on the way that they have operated, I have no reason to believe that they would make a change. However, everything that I've ever believed in sports or thought in sports, in any sport for as much time as you can, would lead me to think that if they didn't make the playoffs, that changes would be made. It's just a common thing. They didn't make the playoffs in 2022. And they didn't make any changes. They went to the World Series a year ago. So why would I think that everybody's going to be held accountable now? And my fear is that it's just one and not the other. And if it's just Boone and not Cashman, that makes no sense. This is not Aaron Boone's fault. We got time for one. No, good thing I didn't go to it there. I'll get to the story that I was going to tell. I teased it there, saying something that happened to me over the course of the weekend that stunk worse than the Mets and Yankees. I'll do it tomorrow because I need more time than 30 seconds here. So sorry for teasing that, but we'll pay it off tomorrow. See what happens with Fried tonight and see if the Mets, both teams really got to get back to their winning ways. Mets and Yanks, they've been struggling yet again together as we got about 50 games to go. All right, that does it for us. Wild show. In case you missed anything, check it out on the free Odyssey app. Thanks to everybody who listened and everybody who called, even Dan from Warwick. We appreciate it. Thanks to Dove. Thanks to Hop. Back again tomorrow, 10 a.m. Evan and Tiki, they're coming up next. We'll see you tomorrow at 10.